So, Par, you didn't watch the One Piece fan letter episode, and all I have to say about it, I don't want to spoil it, but it was good. The animation quality is a 10 out of 10.
And I can watch this on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. You can just watch it on Crunchyroll.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just considered like the latest One Piece episode. It's pretty solid.
Is it like special animation, or is it like the same and it's just like
It's special animation. It's brand new. It's done by the lady that did 1015. Megumi Ishitani, I believe.
Ishitani?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like a full 20-25 minute episode. Brand new. It is based off of the One Piece fan letter light novel, but they also take a lot of liberties. They move a lot of stories around to make it fit all into one island. For example, like multiple stories take place in like Dressrosa, Water 7, Syrup Village, and etc. But they take whatever stories they could have and they pack it right into post-time skip Saboti when the Strawhats are there. So it's really cool. And you see like you see the Strawhats from outsiders' perspectives. And it's awesome because like you don't like see them, right? Like you'll hear of Luffy shouting in the background, like Usopp's like walking down an alleyway, but you don't see his face. It's kind of cool. I think it's awesome. Just the art direction in general is like amazing.
So
it felt like a movie.
I'm on the thing right now. They made a separate category for it, One Piece fan letter for people are looking, but it is episode 1124 on the thing. It's just like tabbed out. Very interesting.
You should totally watch it after this. It's a beautiful anime.
About it. I didn't know it was coming out this soon. Oh wow, even the thumbnail. Is that like baby Nami in the thumbnail?
No, that's the main character. It's a little girl who's inspired by Nami. Yeah, she's a big fan of Nami because Nami's weak as hell, essentially. She's like, Nami's a pirate, but she has no devil fruit, and she's not like super muscular. Oh my god, I love her.
I could be like her.
Yeah, that's like the whole story.
That's so fun. Wait.
Yeah, I want to be a pirate. I want to be a swashbuckling murderer.
Also, did you know that One Piece on Crunchyroll is 14 plus?
On seasons, yeah.
No. That's the rating. 14.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was just like, what is this 14 here for?
Yeah, you gotta be ages 14 and up to watch One Piece. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
If you're under 14, back out. Leave now.
The 2024 Anime Award winner for 14 and older. Don't be 13.
Yeah, if you're 13, you're not gonna understand the story, which I gotta admit, based on some One Piece theories I see out there, I mean, some of y'all be pushing 12.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy to say. we're over here making Jimmy Neutron theories. By the way, so One Piece is going on a 2-week break. In case you guys don't know, we're going to talk about 11:30 here. But one thing that they dropped today is that the 2-week break is due to Oda visiting the live action set for season 2 of One Piece.
Oh. I mean, technically that's just a 1-week extension then, right?
Yeah. It's like a quick little
trip. It's not
trip.
like the worst.
But Oda did announce, take this with a grain of salt. He announced that when he gets back, he'll be doing a 10-question interview, answering hard-hitting questions that will determine the future of One Piece. The story.
Only 10?
Yeah, only 10. Very specific number, but I'm also really afraid, and I say take it with a grain of salt, because I feel like the questions might just be gags.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there's
like
no way.
Okay. If we do a prediction, one question is, Oda-san, you've been saying One Piece is gonna end 5 years from now for the last 20 years. How long is One Piece gonna end? And he's gonna like 5 years. And then
somebody's gonna say, hey, will Shanks survive by the end of the series? And then Oda's gonna say, who knows? Winky face. Like that is how Oda's interviews go. Like I'm familiar with the song and dance, so while I think it's really cool that he's going to go on the records and answer hard-hitting One Piece questions, I feel like we're gonna get nothing out of it. Like realistically, we're not gonna get anything out of that dude.
I might have put laid off the gas pedal on One Piece for a little bit recently, but Oda is ingrained in my brain. I've read near every interview possibly on the internet. I'm hopefully gonna get more in a little bit, but like this dude is just like
he's the master of like beating his bush, right?
Yeah,
like he beats around it. Yeah,
like
which is good. That's fine. There's nothing wrong
I
with
actually
it.
want to get or see or like this is so difficult to do, but like I forget Hidden Island. He interviewed a Japanese speaker who is a fan of his channel when he went to Japan, and the guy said that Oda goes on this like old ladies podcast radio show like
Yeah, yeah,
once a
yeah.
month or like weekly. And I'm like, what? And apparently he answers like actual questions. And I'm like, where are the transcripts for this? Like I think I have to go back to the thing, but one of the questions was like, it was about the logo. It was about the One Piece logo, which now with like Emmett and the rope, a lot more people are looking at the focus, looking at like what the different kinds of meanings could be from there, and like, hey, the rope might be more meaningful. And I'm pretty sure these ladies like asked him like hard hitting questions, and he gave like actual answers, and like what the meaning about the One Piece title is and stuff like that.
I mean, that's wholesome though, right? Because he probably does that, and then their numbers get boosted up because people are tuning in to see One Piece like information. I think that's kind of sweet.
Japan has the age crisis where most of their population is just old, so like they're probably like Joe Rogan over there, if we're being honest,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, they're Joe Roganesses over there.
But also a lot of Japanese radio is like a bunch of talk shows and podcasts too.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, so like, so Oda doing this like, like I feel like he for Shueisha, Crunchyroll, Toei, anything like sanctioned by them, he puts zero effort into. But if it's him going out of his way for like little old ladies or like going to a concert, he straight up like I think in one of the notes in the chapter, he's like, bro, we went to dinner last night. That shit was banging. He never talks about that with like the New Year's party with Shueisha, right? Like he just kind of like shows up. That's it. That
It's
doesn't
business,
really...
bro. It's business.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. So
respect
like
it.
these 10 questions, man, I don't know. I
Just
wonder
wait.
if Oda what?
I was about to say, just wait until we actually learn hard-hitting information, like Loki's devil fruit, right? Like, oh, Loki's
Yeah.
devil fruit. Yay, why not? I'll just say it here, like before the chapter comes out.
Do you feel
That'd
do you
be
feel
so
like
funny.
I
would
feel
love
like
that.
Oda might, if Oda was asked this by an attractive lady, like his interviewer was an interview, do you think Oda would fold? Like he'd be like, and he'd try to
No,
like...
I don't think he'd fold. Not right away. Like, if he folds, fold after like day 2, right? Come on, brother. Lock in,
Yeah.
lock in. No, I actually would think it's pretty funny, and I would love it if Oda did reveal hard-hitting information. Like, what if they're like, hey, Oda, when does Shanks die, for example? And instead of hitting him with like a winky face or who knows, what if he's like, yeah, he'll die in like chapter 1155? And it's like, what? Huh? Like that would be crazy. That would be so cool though.
After this chapter, with the numbering thing and the Loki thing, like I just don't know what to think anymore. Like Oda's just a crazy person for doing something like that.
He's just having fun.
Yeah, but to line it up like that,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I
not
feel
even
like
fair.
it's partially coincidental. Like he
I
probably
feel
like
like-
was coming up to the chapter and he's like, oh, like let me see what other ties I can put in here.
Yeah, but also like to get to 1,130, it almost feels like he bullied Marvel and it's like, hey, make Marvel make Loki
no.
this variant number.
So
it's
if
gonna
you
line
guys
up with
don't
my
know
chapters.
what Par is talking about, so I'm sure you've seen it already, but the Loki from the MCU, he has a variant number in the TVA, which is 1130. And then Loki in this chapter is introduced in his chapter 1130. So it's a crazy lineup, but of course, I think like Oda was getting to Loki pretty soon. Maybe that's why we have Roto. Maybe we weren't supposed to go with Roto at first. And then he's like, ooh, if I push this like 3 chapters, let me tell you, it would line up pretty well.
But Sai, remember Roto? Actually, I guess it did. He did say Roto came on the chapter. I will return. So, but it doesn't. It's not. He didn't have to number lock it, right? To stall out
Roto
Loki.
could have came back in many different ways. He could have just came in general.
Yeah, he could have just came in general.
So with the
which he
cover
probably
page, though, we got Yamato, and dude, something is finally happening. Par,
Yes.
17 weeks. Something's happening to Yamato.
More than 17 weeks. This is half a year now.
Yeah, essentially, because we had a lot of color spreads and requests in between, but Yeah,
Like,
I
he gets
mean,
like 33 chapters out, and then
yeah.
17 half, so it's like half a year's worth of One Piece devoted to Yamato just walking.
But now Yamato is sleeping, and something big is happening. Somebody's
Yeah,
taking Yasui's blade.
yeah,
Who is
yeah.
it? Who do you think it is?
I think it's so like I've been thinking about this probably like not at all. Like this is the second time I've been thinking about this cover story
Yeah,
since we talked about it. So, but to give like something that I didn't say before, well, I did say it, but like greater extent, I feel like there's gravity to the fact that Yamato is a Kaido child, lived like traumatized, all this stuff. I feel like the observation hockey would kick in if it was like someone who was an antagonist to Yamato. So like given that they're not feeling threatened, they're either weaker than Yamato or they're not a threat or they're not like evil to Yamato. You know what I mean? So when the chapter first came out, my first thought was Shinobu because last chapter we had all these characters and then Shinobu was here and now she's not. And like yeah, I get the wrists don't line up, but like that's like you know uh
yeah,
yeah, like that could change. Green Book could have showed up again. Who knows? She could have done new ninjutsu. She might have ripened herself to like the age where she loses the weight. I don't know, but it feel like Shinobu makes sense, but then the motive doesn't really make sense. And then like, but and Shinobu would fit. She's not a threat. She's weaker. She's an ally. Like it just kind of like pans out. It's just the question is what's the motive? And then if we were to flip it, motive wise, there's like hundreds of people under the sun that we could just like throw in there. But do they make sense for them to just like walk up on Yamato? And then if we were to talk about it like that, then Shinobu isn't asleep. Shinobu is somewhere. And Shinobu's just letting this happen. You know what I mean? So like that's also kind of interesting. Shinobu is also a scabbard technically, right?
yeah.
So
That's one of the hard parts. It's like, well, I get that Shinobu doesn't make too much sense, but Shinobu was here, right? Like she was in the vicinity. So that's why I think it has to be Shinobu. Or if it's not Shinobu, it's going to be someone who's going to be caught by Shinobu. Like there's a chance this is a plot, right? Like Yamato, Shinobu, and Tama, they're like, hey, we're gonna go to sleep. We'll put the blade right here. Somebody's gonna try to either kidnap Tama, Yamato, or the blade. Shinobu, why don't you follow him, right?
yeah.
And this could be the thing.
Is Yamato supposed to bring this blade to again?
All the way around to the shrine. I'm not too sure where it's at. It's on the top right of Wano. I forgot like the name of the place though.
So like the point is that she needs to walk it around Wano instead of just going there directly and just putting it down and then going.
Yes.
Okay.
Here, let me look up a map.
So let me pull up the map of Wano.
Yeah, let me pull up the map real quick.
Google map it real quick.
She has to take it all the way to Ringo.
Ringo, which is ironic because that was closer when she started, but she just went the opposite direction.
Yeah. If she turned right from the start, she would be there right away.
Yeah, or straight, just like in the west.
Just
like,
straight. Yeah.
Right.
True.
Like you're talking about like a hallway. Like,
hey, you don't know. Have you been to Wano? I don't think so. It's all good.
Yeah. Not all of us have been to Wano yet. But the sword, it's also just like been mad long. I still don't get like like Yamato had to do it. Why it was Yamato
Yeah,
even care
true.
about
Yasui? No, Yamato has not even met Yasui, not at all.
Yeah, like Yasui.
So yeah, why Yamato? Like, was there nobody else who was like available? I mean, Shinobu's available, right?
Clearly.
He's just training Tama. Yeah, I bet Tama would love a little trip around Wano.
Yeah, and like also shouldn't Toko be involved with this?
Yeah.
This is her dad's blade. Like, why not Toko Yamato go?
Wait, no, that's a good question. Why is Toko not here?
Yes, I don't know. Like, maybe this. You know what?
It's Momonosuke.
Who's stealing the blade?
Oh yeah, maybe it's like him setting her up or something.
Oh, I was thinking it was Toko.
Oh.
Like I was gonna say, because like Toko taking back her dad's blade. That, as far as what I was saying earlier, like motive wise, There's like, yeah, you could put 1,000 people under the sun, but Toko kind of makes a lot of sense. Why the hell are you giving my dad's
why would
blade?
it be Toko though?
Because why are you giving my dad's blade to this random person who oppressed us? What the hell? You know what I mean?
Like, okay, but for Toko, right? Like, what does she do now? She takes the blade and completes the journey.
Sure, why not? She ran.
Nah, dude, I hate Toko.
Didn't she? Oh no, it was with Zoro. But like, wait, did Zoro carry her the entire way, or was she running by herself? I forget. But Toko was like hella capable, honestly. So
if you had to kill one Wano kid,
Toko ran from Ringo to the Flower Capital all by herself.
If you had to kill one Wano kid, Toko or Tama, who would you kill?
There are more Wano kids to kill.
Hey, named Wano kids. Who would you take down?
Man, where's that? Isn't there that butt chin? Oh no, that's from My Hero. Never mind. The butt chin guy, Garo guy, the little kid.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just immediately thought about him. Wano kid, Tama or Toko?
I would take down Toko.
Yeah, I'd put her out of her misery.
Yeah. See, look, you'd kill Toko, man.
Yeah, but like.
So you don't like her either.
Way, the Swedish way.
How do the Swedish get rid of their kids?
Well, no, they have assisted.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They legalized that. Yeah.
I mean, just take her out to like the back of a barn.
Oh my god! This is YouTube. This is
fair. This is why we're rated 14 plus. It all ties back.
Yes, we are rated 14 plus on Crunchyroll.
Yep.
Imagine Crunchyroll starts posting these things.
No way. Be canceled in like a day.
The fan letter. We're the fan letter, right?
Yeah,
we have to get a sequel.
We should name the Parcast that. Just rebrand to the fan letter.
That's not a bad podcast.
It's not bad, yeah.
It's kind of lame for
fan
us
letter
to
podcast,
do.
Yeah.
Fan letter sounds like, I don't know, I feel like it's too girly for us.
Yeah. I feel like we need like a female host here or like a co-host.
Yeah. Fan letters
or like a really like nice background.
Soft.
Yeah.
We need a sharper name, Parcast, like
Yasui's blade.
Yeah. That's
the blade of Yasu. Yasui's third leg.
We also talked about this a long time ago, but it's in our face again. It's kind of messed up that his blade has the smiles.
So apparently Yasui really loved that pattern though. Like he had it before he ate the smiles though. But I will admit, since this is our first time seeing Yasui's blade really, with Yamato's cover page story, it is crazy that Oda still decided to patternize it like that.
Yeah. It's honestly like, why would you bring this to the grave? It's more painful that this is there.
But
what do you expect
like I said,
him to
he
start
likes the
laughing
pattern
in his grave? What happened?
But I said like he likes the pattern though. Like apparently he had like this on his kimono as well before he ate the smiles. It's just a crazy coincidence that this is what took him out too, or helped take him out.
Yeah. The irony is like he like funded the smiles too. He thought it was a good idea at the start. He was a co-investor.
Yeah, Orochi was like, "Hey, Yasui, I need money.
Do you want to ease the suffering of your people? I got a medicine for that."
Yasui's Odin really likes me,
Oh my god. I can't believe that actually worked all the time. Yeah.
I would hate that. The minute, I'm not gonna lie, dude, Orochi was borrowing money for years. The minute Orochi doesn't pay me back for like 2-3 months straight, back of the barn, dude. Take him out.
Bro, but like the daimyo being convinced of it is crazy because like
all of them
they saw, and then like when they found out that he was a Kurozumi, right? Like they took the higher road. They're like, oh, like why'd you hide your name? And like Orochi's like, why do you think I hid my name? Or something like that, right? And then they were like, all right, fine, whatever. It's like, okay, you don't have to like what was it, discriminate at that point, but you should kind of like, you're not friends with Odin. I saw you.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like that's not discrimination at that point. That point, it's like, bro, like who are you?
Yeah, something weird is going on.
Yeah. Why does the king like you? He doesn't, or the shogun. Why is Odin I've known Sukiyaki for years. For years. For his entire life. He doesn't know you. What's happening here, you know? Like none of that,
Yeah.
man, those daimyo.
If they just got together for one day and said, "Hey, I just lent money to Orochi. He never paid me back."
Me too.
And then this guy
Yeah.
would say, "Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too." And then they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, I think Orochi's bad." Nobody made that connection.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't maybe he needs to pay his debts back before we make him shogun. That would be smart,
Yeah.
right?
Have you I'm sure you've seen it. The theory that the person stealing the blade is Onimaru.
I mean, I'm not on the internet like that anymore, but we did talk about that. If it was Onimaru and he was somehow brain broken into stealing weapons again without a purpose, then he should be stealing Yamato's Kanabo too. But like, it's
that is
because he was
true,
stealing
yeah.
all weapons. Yeah, he was stealing scythes and
He didn't
spears.
discriminate.
Yeah. I mean, neither does Oda, right? Like technically, they're all blades on his list in Road to Laugh-Tale. Yeah,
Yamato has the special blade Takeru.
Yup. Very pointy blade there.
Yeah.
Two great points.
Yeah, and another reason why I'm not a big fan of the Onimaru theory yet is because we're so far from Ringo, which is where Onimaru was.
Yeah.
Like, we're just too far in general, and then plus, like you said, like, there's no reason for Onimaru to steal the blades anymore. Because Onimaru was smart. Like, they weren't like some mindless bandit. Like, they had a purpose, and yeah. And they're also allied with the Scabbards, too.
And I'm like the memes with like Tashigi, right? Like, yeah,
The Tashigi
I'm
memes
sure
are great.
Yasue's swords on the list of like special swords that she needs to collect, and not like, I don't know, Shiryu's sword or like anybody's sword at any point, right? But and then like if we were to go to like, oh, which one's more valuable, Yamato's Kanabo or Yasue's sword? I'm thinking Yamato's Kanabo is more valuable, right? Like,
Yeah, I would say so, too.
yeah, and if this was just a thief, why not steal both, right? So the motive has to be Yasue's sword. Like, we have to eliminate that. And then when you say that, then that eliminates like all the random third party ideas of like someone off of Wano, someone like, not related to the situation, a random new person. Like, you'd have to know that this is Yasue's sword. And if you didn't, then it'd be weird that like, hey, why aren't you stealing the backpack? If you were a thief that was just trying to rob stuff, right? Like, I'm thinking about Kinemon when we first got introduced to him. He stole like from the mob, and he stole everything, including a baby boar, right? Like, he stole everything. So it's like, why? What are we? This is a targeted hit. Like, this is a specific thing, and like they're both knocked out sleeping. So it's like the list gets super limited in terms of why and who and what. And yeah, like the Yakuza could be, but the Yakuza wouldn't, like, the Yakuza fought with Yamato. No, like, I guess
They
the
fought
Yakuza,
with Yamato and Yasui.
yeah, so it's like, it is interesting about who and why. Scabbards also.
The only reason why we were talking about Shinobu earlier, by the way, because I bet people are going to say also, like, Shinobu's one of them. She is, but she's also the closest person. Like, for everybody else that we brought up, like Onimaru, the Yakuza leaders, we have to say, like, oh, they came all the way to this remote little village -- hut and are stealing the blade. The reason why Shinobu kind of works is because she was here. Yeah,
and it eliminates the person that could be stopping / and I like their idea that like the next chapter we see Shinobu catches whoever this is. Like, there's that option. But like right now, if we're to place people in a certain spot, it's like, where is Shinobu? And and then I like what people said too. It's like, why aren't they sleeping inside the house?
That is a good question. The house is like maybe 10 feet away.
Yeah, and like, hey, I know when I was a kid, like back in the 90s, it was more normal to be just a kid outside sleeping in the leaves in fall or whatever, just doing that. I don't think kids do that too much now. They just like sleep while playing like GTA roleplay or something, or Minecraft, Roblox, something. Yeah. So like the kids are doing different things now. So maybe it's like because when people are like, why are they sleeping outside? My, I guess, old ass brain was just like, I mean, I I knew plenty of people just got knocked out outside. It was kind of normal.
It's also like
back in my day.
Naruto, right? Like they just got done training and they're just falling asleep on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. And then when someone said that, I was like, I guess kids don't do that anymore. Like, it's kind of just not a thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
To be
And
fair,
I'm a
I've never slept
germaphobe, and I get
outside.
it. I
But
mean,
I know people who did. It's
yeah,
pretty
like I
normal.
did it like with like a picnic blanket or something. You know what I mean? Just like knock
Yeah.
out. Like, my wife and I were just out about and just like hiking or something, and boom, just knock out. And it's like, cool.
I think it's
You know?
because for me, like in Oklahoma, there's a lot of fire ants where I live. So if I were to fall asleep outside, I just get torn asunder, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna take revenge to the childhood. This is the guy. Get him. He's lived in the same place
Yeah.
this all his life.
Dude, it happened. Like there was one time where I was riding a bike, which I don't know how to ride a bike, so I crashed. And I crashed on a fire ant hill. And I forgot like why, but I sat there for like a second before I got up.
Yeah.
And in the span of like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, like a bunch of fire ants like crawled up my underwear. And they just started
That
going
is-
crazy, dude.
That is so tragic.
Yeah, it's
That-
like that Phineas and Ferb song, like Ants in My Pants. Like that was literally me.
It's squirrels in my pants.
Yeah, squirrels in my pants. Yeah, yeah. Except
Yeah,
for me, it's fire
squirrels?
ants.
Squirrels? That was
Yeah.
a crazy good song. Whew.
I don't know about that.
It really seeped into the brain, you know?
If we want to talk about a good song, there's also KSI's Thick of It song, which is amazing.
I've never.
Then you
I'm
don't
not
know
a
true music.
connoisseur. Not a connoisseur of the good stuff, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. You're missing out. You're missing out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woe is me. Woe
So-
is me.
This sword stealing, is it connected to the kidnappers we saw a couple chapters back? Even in like a really loose regard, do you think it's connected?
It should be. Imagine Oda started a separate thing, but that's where it was also weird about Shinobu. But like last chapter, when we saw Shinobu's like stank face, I was saying like, yo, what if she's the problem? Like, what if she's doing something wonky here?
Shinobu could
Yeah,
even
I
be
don't-
like, fulfilling a bribe. Or not bribe, but like some condition. Like, oh, if you steal Yasuo's blade and sell it to us, we'll let go of 10 of the hostages.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's another
Huh,
way Shinobu
yeah.
could be the thief, but also be a good person.
But the problem with that is just ask Yamato for help. There's not a single
Or anybody.
person-
I mean, forget Yamato. Ask Momonosuke or Kinemon, right?
Yeah, but like, okay, so like, what if they're threatening Momo or whatever? Like, there's some kind of crazy thing. I don't know, but like
You'd have
at
to
the
be a
end of the day,
madman to threaten Momo.
yeah, yeah. Like, I'm just saying, like, Yamato's right here, right now. You just whisper, "Hey, I need your help. This, if I don't do this, 10 people will die." Yamato's just like, Yamato just could level like an
I think
entire
okay.
city.
To be fair, I don't think we've ever talked about the power level of the kidnappers and thieves. What if this
No,
is
we
a
did.
What if this is a Yonko Pirate King level threat that is stealing
Oh, no.
Yasuo's blade?
We did talk about this, and we talked about how it made no sense. Like that, like
Yeah, but
there's
weeks
not-
have passed now. This is a different Syv and Par. Like, what if this is Gold
Yonko
Roger?
level? What if this is Gold Roger's
What if
case?
this is Gold Roger? You ever think about that?
I
Par?
feel like this is like one of those comments that like drive you insane. Like you think of a theory, you think of an idea, you propose it, and be like, but Sai, you didn't consider the idea that Gold Roger came back and fought him. It's like,
Wait, it's Gecko Moria! Wait, Gecko Moria, he did go around Wano stealing blades and corpses and people. I don't think the
Yeah,
timeline
I
would
don't know,
match.
I don't think his target was the weapons per se. It was the corpses, and like that was probably the prerogative. And he's like, good sword, good. Let's take. I mean, to be fair, in order to grave rob in Ringo, he has to go through the sword. Like it's staked into the thing, so like it's harder to leave the sword behind. He might as well just scoop it all up, Like I feel like if you're grave robbing in Ringo and you leave the swords behind, you're like very considerate. I feel you're definitely a person who puts the shopping cart back.
No.
that's for sure.
What I'm saying is that Gecko Moria, when we get to Ringo, all the swords are going to be gone. And it's Gecko Moria's fault.
Oh No, sorry. Oh my god, I can't believe we didn't think about this.
What's up?
Oh my god, it's Kid. His powers awakening. He's underwater, and all the swords
Yeah,
and women
you're right.
are being attracted to him.
Yeah, next chapter in Wano, we're gonna see like a giant sword monster pop up, and it's just Kid.
He's gonna be like like in Naruto Nine-Tail Cloak, like he's gonna lose control and it's gonna be the devil fruit taking over, you know? It's gonna be like that. Oh, he's gonna be in like a bad awakening from Impel Down. He's gonna turn into Magneto. Magneto's like, you're using my power wrong, Kid. And you just see it like Magneto kill everybody.
Ooh. And the reason why we see a hand in the cover page is because this is what people see now. Like, this is Kid's awakening. Like, he spawns multiple hands that just gropes everything that has metal in it.
Yeah, no. You know what this is? This is Kid's missing arm.
His missing arm is coming back.
Yeah, he's missing.
That'd be so cool, though. Dude,
yeah,
okay.
Ghost arm. That sounds like a Japanese yokai, first of all. That sounds like one of those terrible movies.
It sounds like Rayman. So, if you could, would you get your arms chopped off if your arms could just like float around and you could control them?
Like Buggy?
Yeah, like Buggy, but it's always like that though. Like once you chop them off, you can't go back. Would you do it?
Wait, what need do I have for? I guess like without
I don't know. Why are you asking
connected,
me?
You don't have leverage. So like it'd be very difficult to open a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it would be very, very difficult. You wouldn't be able to climb. Oh wait, can I float? Or like is my torso just like flopping like
Your torso's just flopping around. I mean, you have your legs still. You're not like flopping around unless you have like no balance.
Yeah, but if it's all disconnected, the legs moving doesn't do anything to the upper body.
No. Only your arms are chopped off, Par.
Oh,
yeah, only your arms. Yeah. So you still have your legs and your head and your neck and all that. You just don't have your arms anymore. They're just like floating. Would you do it?
Fun fact, when I was a kid, both my arms got dislocated. So like this is like very close to home.
Yeah.
yeah, I blacked out and I woke up at the doctor's office and they're like,
it's a question that hits close.
Yeah.
So would you do it though? You're avoiding the
nah,
hypothetical.
It sucks, bro. No, it definitely sucks. You can't bowl. It's so hard. Oh, I guess if I can control the arms, then it's better than what I have right now.
But imagine you get into a fight, right? Like like you're like this, and then you're like where am I gonna hit you next? And then like your arms are flying around the battlefield, like they wouldn't know what to do.
Oh yeah, for fighting, very good. Yuji is so cracked. If we get like a Buggy martial arts, like he's just like he's just fucking popping it up, literally. That'd be crazy.
Like imagine an MMA match where both the guys don't have arms.
Like detached arms.
Yeah, like detached, like floating arms. Yeah.
And they're just like doing like what's the martial art?
Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai.
No, the one that's like Wing Chun. Yeah, that one where it's just like they do it on the block, like the stick with the thing, and they like fucking like
they're like
super speed. Yeah.
If you guys don't know what Wing Chun is, you should totally watch. It's not Ip Man, is it? No, it is Ip Man. Yeah, it's Ip Man. Yeah. Watch that Chinese martial arts movie. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a real version of it, and then there's a not real version of it, and like 90% of like right now is not real version of it, and it's funny to watch, but
it's good to watch too. There's one where he 1v20s like the Japanese during World War II.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about the movie part, but in real life also, like there's people who like are, who probably actually use it, but like not in real scenarios. But
yeah, there's also in Ip Man 3 he fights Mike Tyson. I remember that. No, I'm not even joking. He does. Mike Tyson comes to like China, and then Mike Tyson's like Jiju, and then he just looks at he looks at Ip Man, and then they start fighting, and then I think he punches him through a window. It's so random. I love it.
Great.
It's a good movie.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
So
wow.
On to the first page of this week's chapter. Frankie is ordering the Giants to call off the search. He says, we check everywhere. Like, we've looked hard enough. Jinbe's over here talking to fish. let's just go to Elbaf. Like it's done. And plus, there's no food or water. Like they're running out of supplies. Like it just makes sense.
Yep.
And yeah, Frankie's taking charge. I love to see it, man. I like that he's essentially the de facto leader. The Giants just kind of listen to him.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad. I mean, you were right about the Jinbe talking to sharks thing, but I'm kind of sad that they didn't like tell him anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, some useless sharks, man.
Yeah. Like sharks are my favorite animal. You'd think that they would come to more handy. Do you think they just like? Do you think that all? Because here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
The way they do this in like just fiction in general is like the mermaids. Well, in One Piece, okay, to contextualize it, mermaids can speak to all fish.
Yeah.
But Jinbe is a special fishman. Fishmen normally cannot speak to fish, but Jinbe can speak to sharks, which is weird. But the thing is, like, I can speak to all humans, but that doesn't mean the humans listen to me or like me. Do you think the sharks just like, you're not from around here, these parts are different? Who do you
the
think
sharks
you
get
are?
territorial. Like, I mean, we're off the coast of Elbaf, so these are big sharks, right?
Yeah. They're like, who's this small ass leg thing?
Imagine there's like a Roto-esque shark out there.
Oh.
Yeah, like Roto's like, oh, puny humans. Like, it's like, oh, puny shark man, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They discriminate. Yeah, so like it could be that. It could be that Jinbe is just like he got punked, a little bit. He's in the wrong part of the hood,
Ooh. So here's a good question. You don't like fish, right? But let's pretend
eating fish.
Yeah, you don't like eating fish. Let's pretend you love eating fish for a minute. If you were Jinbe, would you coerce the sharks to jump on board the Sunny so you could eat them for dinner? Like, hey, little guy, we got something good for you back on the ship. And then the shark jumps up and they just kill him. Would you do that if you were hungry? Because, like, Brooke says they're running out of food. But I'm going to be honest. Jinbe could get them more food easily.
Yeah, no, without that, I'm like, bro, what do you mean it's hard to... Wasn't the entire story arc of Dorry and Brogy in Lola just fucking pulling up sea kings out of the water? Like, why is it a
they
problem?
dinosaurs and sea kings. Like, dude, if these giants really wanted food, I'm sure they could get something. They're off the coast of Elbaf. The fish are huge. It's not like, like baby fishes and they can't eat it because they're, human-sized. No, we're talking about big fish here.
I'm forgetting right now, but can giants jump?
Why wouldn't they be able to jump?
Okay, like
gravity.
Okay, so like what I mean by that is like, how like in One Piece humans can jump, like Shanks jumped like a continent.
Yes.
Do you think giants can do that too?
Oh, like okay, like can they like hover and stuff?
Not just hover, just like because we have never seen them like leap. You know what I mean? Like a One Piece character. Right now, they're bound by normal physics. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they're giants, but like when they jump like proportional to their height as a normal human. We have yet to see, like, when we got Roger fighting Whitebeard, my man leaped the island. He treated the island like it was a trampoline. We have yet to see a giant do that, and if a giant can, my God, that's terrifying.
No, that's a good
right?
question, actually. Yeah,
because
I feel like they'll be able to jump on Elbaf.
Like Luffy, right? He on the Thousand Sunny, he can jump all the way up and get a bird, right? This ship is giant. Can the giants jump from their own ship, or are they like, will they capsize their ship? Is it disproportional like that? It shouldn't be. The giant ship should be as capable of a ship to them as a human on a normal ship. So they should be able to, like, I'm thinking, like, they see a bird, they're like, whoop, and then none of them have devil fruits. They can just swim in, just wrestle.
You're right. I think they can jump.
Yeah,
they can jump.
And then, like, what else I'm thinking? Like, okay, like, with One Piece logic, it wouldn't really make sense. We've never seen, like, Zoro tug a boat, right? But, like, 10 giants, like, if they're in the calm belt too, I could see them all just get out and just, like,
start swimming.
Just pull the boat, just tie a leash on them,
Yeah, no, I could totally see that.
Yeah,
I feel like we'll get a lot of giant shenanigans on Elbaf.
Yeah, I just want to get more logic behind it because guys, like I'm obviously joking with like a lot of that part, but that is like world building in a sense, like giving context to the capableness. Like with the Tontatas, we was well understood that yeah, they're small, but they're like it's like Ant-Man, like they get the strength of like a human or more, and they're just tiny, and it's like more consolidated power. Right now, the Giants are just like less capable. Like they're on a ship in the water, no devil fruits, no food. If this was Luffy would jump in the water, get a fish still, eat it, it's poison, survive. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Dude, imagine this
great.
is one of the 10 questions that Oda answers later that impacts the future of One Piece. Yeah, can the Giants jump? Dude, the fan base would hate us.
No,
like, you guys wasted a question on this.
Yeah. I was gonna say that fan base would hate the interviewer. The interviewer had to go in hiding. Oh my god.
Yeah, can Giants jump? Is really this is what you asked?
It's like summoning Shenron, and it's like I wish to know the rules of the wishes, and it's like, what are you doing? Just ask him. You don't need a wish for it.
Yeah. Nah, dude. Like, it would be cool if Giants were self-conscious about jumping too. Like Hajrudin's like, yeah, you know, I couldn't use my full potential on Dressrosa because I couldn't jump.
Yo, like
what if that's why he extreme diff Mac Vice? He's like, yo, like I would have beaten him if I could have jumped.
I'm dead ass right now. If Hajrudin just jumped in the Coliseum, wouldn't he just no diff everybody? Like just leave?
Yeah, he would just break the platform.
Yeah, theoretically, you know, like you know what I mean. Like he
should be able to. He seems like a hefty guy.
Earthquake. Right? Like,
yeah,
he just hops up and down a few times. Like, you know, because like to him, they're like ants. If I jumped up and down next to an ant, they're running. They're terrified. The world is ending. You know?
Yeah, I should have done it with the fire ants. Like I should have just started jumping. They all would have they would have been so confused. Like it's an earthquake.
Yeah,
it's Ragnarok.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like when you like a bee, right? It stings you because you swat at it. That's because you're causing like a category 50 hurricane for them.
Yeah, they're like super confused.
Get out! And they're seeing like Godzilla just like reach at them. Of course they're gonna go kamikaze boom. You know what I mean? Just like the Japanese movies. But like the entire thing with the Giants is like so much of their problems would be solved if they just jumped. They just like
Ooh, I mean, they did jump the Gorosei. Yeah, dude, like, I'm trying to think now. Like, they're heavy guys. Like, I guess they could have just tackled the Gorosei.
And just sat on them.
Just sat on them. Ooh, speaking of the Gorosei, have you seen the colorings for them?
No, I haven't. Oh, like in the anime?
Yeah, or like the official colorings that Oda did.
No, I didn't see Oda's.
Guess what color Saturn is?
Oh, like the stripes are colored? I didn't see that.
No, Saturn's like body and face are colored. Yeah, his face is colored.
Oh, no.
Guess the color.
Blue.
Purple.
Oh, I was close.
Guess what color Nasjuro is?
Red.
Yes. What about Warkuri?
Warkuri.
The boar.
Brown?
Green.
His
whole body is green.
Following the colors of the planets, no?
No, I don't believe so.
Because Venus is the fire one, right?
The reason I say no is because of Marcus Mars. Guess what color he is?
Pink?
He is red, yellow, blue, green, and orange.
Bro, I have to see this. What is happening?
And then Jupiter's also he's like brownish red.
A Gorosei official color? Did anyone tweet this?
Go to Pew Piece. He has like I think it's pinned. No, it's not pinned. Damn it. Okay. If you scroll down, the volume sketch for 1100. I was about to say 110. It's up, and during like the 1 minute mark, or like near the very end, when Oda's coloring Saturn, he references the Gorosei sheet that he has, and you can see the coloring for all the Gorosei there.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. If you can't find it, I'll link it, but yeah, we got like some crazy colors going on for the Gorosei.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, so it like
It
pops
is
up for
not
a
what I
second.
expected. Yeah, it pops up for like 1 single second. But yeah, Marcus
Huh?
Mars, his hair is orange, the face is red, beak is yellow, the top of the wing is blue, and then it goes to teal, yellow, and then red, and then his tail is purple. And then Warkery, like he's a green boar, and his tusks are like skin colored, I guess is a good way to put it. Saturn's flames, he has the black shoal, but the flames directly behind him are like red and yellow. His face is purple, his legs are purple. The only normal, quote, normal one is Nasujiro because all of his bones are white, as they should be, but his hair and like his face skin mask thing is red and pink. And then yeah, the giant worm is like red and yellow. Like there's some crazy colors going on here, man. It is getting colorful.
Yeah, I think Emu is a child, and this is just a like like you hand like a first grader like a coloring thing, and you give them numbers to follow. But if you didn't give them the numbers, they would color just like this, like purple skin colored shoes, and you see that all the time. It's like, oh, what did little Jimmy draw? And then it's like this deformed coloring, right? Like Oda's tapping in right now.
Yeah.
This might be why Emu deleted him.
He said, you know what? A purple skinned Yuki ox monster, it's
What
not the
was I
vibe
thinking?
anymore. What was I doing, man? Look at how stupid this guy looks.
Do you think
That's so funny.
Like this power, like in the hypothetical, the power is bestowed, right?
Yeah.
Saturn becomes a Gorosei. Yeah, I was promoted to Gorosei. Here is your power, Saint Saturn. And then he transformed Yuki. And then he looks in the mirror and he just starts getting depressed and sad. He's like, what happened?
I mean, hey, all I gotta say is that a transformation is better than no transformation. I'd be happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, realistically,
And it's strong, so it's like it's good. It's good. It could be worse, right?
He always keeps his legs behind him, so he's not reminded of the purple. Oh no, he does the snake.
I'm trying to think, like, what's a bad zone? Like Dalton. I could just be like an ox, right? Like a regular ox.
Dalton
but no, I'm like this
terrible.
purple.
Dalton
You say he's not
good.
terrible. He only has one showing. He's only been in his zone form one time.
No, well, the reason why I say his is actually good is mainly because of context. He needed a really warm devil fruit, and he got one. He got a really warm.
Yeah, but he never uses it though. Like he's used it once.
Wait, no, but he always has the fur. No, like when in Drum Island, right? That's all you need. Really warm.
You mean his jacket?
Was that a jacket, or was that like him tapping?
That's his jacket. He wears a fur jacket. Because I know the fur is white.
You know how expensive
beige.
Sherpa jackets can be? Imagine you just had a devil fruit that just gave it to you, and he didn't use it. I was gonna make it in bison form the entire time.
I was gonna make a Baldur's Gate reference, but you haven't played it.
Nah. I'm pretty under the rock at this point. I like being under the rock.
No, because there was a trailer for Baldur's Gate 3 like last year or the year before. I forgot when it was. And one of the selling points was you could have like intercourse with the bear. So it's like, I guess Dalton is good for that, but that's about it. Going on, we see the outskirts of Elbaf, or not outskirts. We get like this panned out shot, and dude, it is massive. You got the Yggdrasil tree, the castle, the giant bridge that goes upwards. It is huge. Yep. It's so big, in fact, that you can't even see the Strawhats there. They're like not even ants. I don't even think they're dots. You just see like the shouting lines, and that's about it.
Yeah. Man. Castle's big, tree big, bridge big. Gave me Drum Island vibes. Speaking about Dalton, you know what I mean? Which ironically Chopper was tapping into in the wrong way. I feel like Chopper forgot about Drum Island. Like
he just erased his memories of it.
Yeah, well, like he just made shit up in this chapter. He's like, yeah, I used to do this all the time. He's like, no, you didn't. This isn't what you did. Like, you'd climbed a rope. You didn't jump across a ravine every step of the way on a giant bridge. Like, he's making stuff up, Chopper. Like,
maybe he's just talking about snow. Like he missed playing in the snow. He's skilled at it.
Yeah, I guess it was just funny that he's like, because like the context was great, and like they made it at that Luffy was the crazy person. I was like, no, Luffy's the normal one here. Like for once, Luffy chose the safe route. I like it would make way more sense if it was Luffy on the bridge part, and it was the Straw Hats running on the rope, because the rope is like giant for them. So it's at that point it's just a pathway. Whereas the wood paneling is like jumping across like city blocks in New York City, like from building to building.
Yeah,
like
we don't know how
parkour.
rickety it is, but yeah, the Straw Hats are like walking through this bridge, and it seems like hell. It's not a fun time at bare minimum.
Yeah, well, they're not walking just yet. Jumped a little bit, but
Yeah. The first thing we see Garrett and Goldberg, members of the new giant pirates, along with the new addition, Piper, the owl.
Yep.
And they're talking about Roto. They're actually smack talking him.
Yep.
They're like, hey, why did Hajrudin let such a weirdo in the crew?
Yeah.
And it's because he's a skilled navigator, which is kind of something we talked about last time too, right? He has all the maps. He's doing good. Like outside of his hobby, like he is pretty talented.
Do you think that the Straw Hats have someone like that in their crew, that they just like behind the back smack talk like this? Like at the beginning at least.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because also for them, it's been a little bit, right? Like, or New Giant Pirates like brand new. We don't
Maybe
know,
like they're
we?
brand new in terms of like giant life. I don't know.
Yeah. We actually don't know when the New Giant Pirates formed. We just know that they formed. We just don't know when.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know like exact dates.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
because
just
like imagine
Roto.
they've been together for like 20 years by now. You know what I mean? And then like Gerd is still saying like, I can't believe like we're on the same crew with that. And it's like, it's been 20 years now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, but like
you
for
said,
a
like
giant,
for
that's probably
giants,
like next, like, you know, a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of times passed for him. But yeah, so we see that Piper saw Rhodes Kromugen bring back a ship, a small ship. And that's when Goldberg's like, yeah, we're supposed to arrest intruders, but Roto, man, he keeps on bringing them into the country and claiming them as trespassers so he can lock them up in his Lego prison. And I'm just like, bro, like, how long has Roto been doing this? Like, it seems like a well-known Elbaf fact, right? Like, oh, yeah, Roto, the weirdo, just, you know, kidnapping people again. He's like that one, like, crazy neighbor you have.
Yeah. I just gotta say it. Like I'm sure someone has thought of this already. Sorry, I got distracted. Is Gerd just Nami's mom?
No.
Okay, she just looks like, I get it. All the girls, a lot of girls look like Nami. Someone's had to have said it already. I feel like it has to be said once. Like, what if Nami's mom is actually her real mom is Gerd? Crazy, or like related. What if Gerd is her sister?
That'd be crazy. I mean, then Nami would have to be like half giant.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she had some giant assets, is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
some proportions.
She got something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like they're explaining how like Road is able to do this. Like, oh, he's not the norm, right? Like not all giants do this to humans. It's like a Road specific thing, which I really love.
Yeah, it's also funny because like Goldberg is like laughing about it too.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
like it sounds like a problem, but it's like realistically, it's also not a problem. Like it's just weird that he's doing it because they are supposed to arrest intruders. The problem isn't what Roto is doing; it's that he's smuggling them in and making them intruders. So in that regard, these people wouldn't be intruders. They're like I was bringing up on stream, like these
visitors.
people need me as a legal attorney here because they can't be prosecuted as intruders because they're smuggled in against their own will. Yeah, that's not the same thing as an intruder. You know what I mean? If someone brings you into their house like against your own will, you didn't break into the house. That's not how that works, right? So like in that regard, Roto isn't committing a crime. He's being very odd. And then Goldberg is just like laughing about it because he's saying it's like, man, it's he's saying it like it's a problem, but he's smuggling them. Ha 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 ha. Like it's just like a very.
It's probably just like Goldberg's character, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's just always laughing at everything. It's kind of like Treble, right? Treble always laughs. He has that silly.
I'm thinking about it like, giants are also like, maybe not everyone's condescending to people, but they might not see it as big of a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not exactly like the Gorosei level of discrimination, but more so like whatever. What's a few humans here and there? You know what I mean? He just
and plus at the end of the day, it's kind of like a skill issue, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't beat Roto, you can't break the wall and get out of there. Come on.
Yeah. Shanks would have. You're not like Shanks. You can't do that. Oh, lame ass human. You don't belong here anyways. It could be.
Yeah.
It could be like moderate racism.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. Like, it is Warland, right? Like, if you can't beat Roto, and if you can't get out of that cage, then, it sucks to suck.
Yeah.
But either way, I feel like if they did see the Straw Hats, though, they probably wouldn't act that way necessarily. Maybe they would have saved the Straw Hats, right? They see him, they're like, yo, that's our fleet commander. Let's break him out, Roto. What are you doing? Like, when it comes to, like, the new giant pirates, do you think they would have saved the Straw Hat pirates if they saw them in Roto's, like, Lego Playhouse?
Yeah.
They would have beat Roto up for it.
No, I don't think so, because apparently they wanted to go save Luffy too, but the old giant pirates were like, or no, actually, it's less so of that. It's that the new giant pirates have to take care of the problem on Elbaf, which is interesting, right? That like the old giant pirates wouldn't take care of it, the new giant pirates would. Like,
well, they're left to handle the trouble.
Yeah.
So maybe like the fallout, like, I mean, it looks like, Dorry and Brogy and like at least some of their gang might have been here for that, but it looks like Hajrudin specifically had to like look after them, which kind of makes sense considering like the fact that they're brothers.
Yeah, Hajrudin is we found out a very important detail about the guy, actually that detail makes this hypothetical less important. But like, do you think the new giant pirates swap out with the old giant pirates on Egghead? Do we get the same result?
Do we get the same result? The same end result, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we get the same end result, but I don't think it'll be as easy.
Yeah, instead of Dorry and Brogy, it's just Hajrudin, and he's just 20 million punch, pow, or whatever he calls it, and then like he just hits like Jupiter Jupiter is the worm, right?
Yeah, Jupiter's the worm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Replace Hajrudin, replace Dorry and Brogy with Hajrudin. Yeah, I think he would do okay. I don't think he'd be like bad per se, but
yeah, like when the Dorry and Brogy clash with
Marcus, lot more issues than Dorry and Brogy had for sure.
Yeah, it'd be so bad if Hajrudin was there instead. We'd have to compare the Gorosei to Mock Vice, bro. No flamingo pirates could take the
that'd be crazy. No,
I think that'd be worse.
Actually, we'd have to take in consideration that Hajrudin couldn't jump. You can't forget that.
Also, back to the jumping real quick. I get it. The collars on Sabaody had explosives, but if Stanson jumped, he could do a lot of damage. He never jumped.
No, he did not.
The whole building would have came down if he just did. Which
also, speaking of which, in case you guys don't know, Stanson, the only member of the New Giant Pirates that we haven't met again recently, outside of Hajrudin, of course, he was a slave back at Sabaody. Rayleigh actually freed him, and then after he was freed, he ended up joining Hajrudin in the gang.
And this was revealed. You guys were like, wait, when did this happen? Did I miss something? This was like fully first revealed to us in One Piece Deep Blue, which lends itself to like a lot of these magazines, a lot of these things don't have like full like canon information, but there are tidbits here and there, like this one. So
yeah, so in case I mean and the thing is too, like, I don't blame people for not knowing, because Stanson looks nothing like how he did back at Sabaody. Like, it's night and day. It might as well be two different characters, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's kind of like most of the Shanks pirates in chapter 1.
Yeah. Like chapter 1 Building Snake versus like chapter 1000 Building Snake. It's like, wait, what? Who?
Hongo. Yeah, Hongo looks like a normal a side character, like not even a background character, just like haphazardly drawn. It's like just wheels,
Yeah,
and
and then
now he
Oda
looks
like revamps him.
badass.
That's just
Yeah,
how it is.
yeah,
I mean, same with Stanson. I think Stanson didn't have like the crazy beard. He didn't have the helmet. He wasn't muscular. And then,
yeah.
here we
He
are
was just
now,
a
and
giant.
Stanson looks crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Which,
yeah.
to be fair, we haven't
Yeah.
seen him yet, though, but we've
You
seen
know,
him through the cover page stories.
with that in consideration, is there a world where like Rayleigh like shows up? Like if Stanson shows up and we get a reunion and Rayleigh shows up too, that'd be kind of wild.
That would be
I don't
kind
think
of
it's
cool,
needed,
huh?
but like contextually, it's kind of like because like giant pirates are Shanks and like Rayleigh knew Stanson and like they were last together and obviously Stanson left and went with the buggy delivery service allegedly, but just Oda likes bringing the same characters back together, bringing the gang back together, and
Yeah.
Rayleigh could be really cool to have on Elbaf.
Rayleigh would be really cool, but would we need him, though?
Yeah, it's not needed, but like when it comes, like it's kind of like Amazon Lily, right? Like,
Yeah.
was he needed? No,
I
but
would
like,
say so.
no, I mean like
Amazon
Oda,
Lily?
like
Like,
Amazon
like
Lily,
when the
like
Marines were attacking?
I feel like Oda could have had other ways to make that go down, right? Like he could have had Boa a little bit more. He could have buffed up Boa a little bit. He didn't have to have Boa completely. They could have had a stalemate. You know what I mean? Like there are other ways to
A
have
stalemate
written
wouldn't
that
look too
without
bad, though,
Rayleigh.
for Blackbeard.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's fair. Like I think like with the Seraphim, like Blackbeard demolishing the Seraphim. Actually, no, getting demolished by a Seraphim. There's like a bunch of wonky stuff there, and then Rayleigh was just like the cherry on top was like, oh shit, Rayleigh's here. Um, yeah, Rayleigh is just an interesting thing because I want to time to Blackbeard, so maybe Elbaf isn't the play, but like,
Yeah, no, I think
because he
Rayleigh
had
was
the
well
line of like,
used.
oh no, it like cut out. What are you saying?
I said I think Rayleigh's well used.
Yeah, I think he was well used. I'm not saying that it was a bad like that. I'm just saying that it's kind of like at the time because there's like not no setup. Obviously, there's setup with Rayleigh and Shocky, right? There could have been other ways, other components Oda could have brought into the mix there, right? Like at the time we didn't have Sword like be in the mix there, but we had Kobe there, so like it could have been that there was more Sword members there, right? There could have been a lot of different ways at that time to do it. That's why I'm like Rayleigh's a really cool variable to work with, where contextually being a Roger pirate just fits him into a lot of places that
Yeah.
like any place that you put him in, it makes it a lot cooler. And I think Elbaf is kind of a cool place for him because he would also be a cool character for like Roto to see too. It's like old dude just fucking beats his ass too. Like
I
it
think
is
that's why people
interesting
like the
considering-
Scopper route for Elbaf.
Yeah, Scopper too. There are people like that. Yeah, but also having them do like a reunion at some point, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Elbaf is
feel
gonna
like
be
the
crazy.
outcome of Amazon Lily is so specific. Like it was a complete diffusal. I think that's why I think Rayleigh was best utilized there.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
why Rayleigh's like the perfect answer. Because not only did
Yeah.
Blackbeard leave peacefully, but Blackbeard didn't leave the island right away. Like he still messed around with the Marines. He was able to capture them, trade off Kobe.
Do you think Rayleigh's good? So actually, you bring up a good point. Rayleigh's always used for diffusal.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, but I don't think that continues. I think next time he's probably not.
You think it'll get done in?
I think the train stops next time.
I'd be cool with that.
He
Like
said
for
so.
me,
Yeah.
yeah.
He kind
I
of
mean,
said it.
for me, I don't mind if like characters die. So if
Yeah,
Rayleigh kicks
yeah.
the bucket next, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
As much as I
but
like
you know,
Rayleigh.
because one my favorite, like I always say this, Rayleigh's entrance is one of my favorite because he was just like this old dude, sick, came out of the back, just like looked at people and like that was the first time we saw Conkers like that, right? And he was just like laughing. Then he's like, "Don't worry, I got this." And I was like, "What do you mean? Her neck is gonna explode?" And he's like, "Ah," and he did like the super martial arts like kind of vibe where he's just like focusing, and he just did it like kind of like Mr. Miyagi and catching the fly, like that kind of a
Yeah.
thing. Just like the whole entrance was kind of cool. But along with the entrance, that gave it a little bit extra aura because we didn't know like how much aura Rayleigh had. Besides, he used the second hand to the Pirate King. At the time, we didn't know how he moved. Right? We didn't even people at that time thought like Garp was like weak. You know what I mean? Like strong, but like not like destroying islands with single like force blasts, key blasts, and stuff like that. And that Rayleigh could stop Kizaru, but then behind Rayleigh to give him the extra oomph, Oda threw Stanson back there to be like, oh, the giant is like, yo, this guy is scary. Like, I ain't messing with them. That's what Stanson's role at that time was like, oh my god, a giant. This is the first time we're seeing giants. And then the giant is like, no, this guy's the giant. I'm nothing. This guy is scary. And then Rayleigh's just laughing. Like, that whole setup was really cool. So like Stanson played a pretty good role, or a favorite role of mine in Rayleigh's introduction. So like that's not like, oh, it'd be sick to have him back again. And then Stanson also is like, I owe you guys my life. He said that to, and then Usopp's like, I got this. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
not the first time we saw Giants. Sorry, I misspoke with that one.
It was it's kind of interesting because back when I was a kid, at least, I always got Stanson and John Bart confused because they look so similar. I did. I mean, John Bart introduced there. You know, he was a slave. He got released. And then we have Stanson was a slave, got released at the same time.
Bro, their foreheads are like, so different.
And they were in the same area, too. Like, they were both in the auction house.
Have different area codes.
I mean, all giants look the same to me, dude.
John Bart's face is crazy. Especially, I feel like Sabaody John Bart was way crazier than current John Bart. I feel like.
John Bart back in Sabaody didn't do a single thing.
Yeah, but his forehead was crazy different than Stanson's.
Yeah, but like I said, like all the giants kind of look the same. Yeah. Rest in peace, John Bart. So like if I put them both in a ring and I gave you a gun and you had to mow one down, would you shoot down Stanson or John Bart?
Apparently I can't shoot down John Bart. I'm not a better shot than Van Auger.
Let's say John Bart is sleeping, no hockey, and your bullets can pierce anything in the world.
Anything in the world?
Yeah, you're like...
this is way better than the Giant Slayer perk you gave me over 40.
Have you watched Bleach?
Yeah, but like not all of it.
There's like one character who can shoot through anything. That's his ability. Like nothing can block his bullets.
That's pretty OP.
That's you.
John Bart easily.
You would kill John Bart.
John Bart's so useless.
What? John Bart over Stanson in terms of like usefulness. Stanson
can build a boat.
Yeah, he is a shipwright, but we haven't seen his abilities. What if the boats he builds are like for kids?
Come on, a boat for a giant is a castle for me, you know?
Wait. What if the only boat he can build is primitive? Like he'll just put like a log in front of you and say, "Hey, it's all done." Like he's the guy who designed Blackbeard's ship.
Blackbeard's ship's hella good though.
Well, Blackbeard modified it. At first, it was just a log with a mast. What if that was what Stanson can cook up? The best of his abilities.
Are we calling Blackbeard a shipwright then? Because if you're saying he just ties some logs together, hey brother, I'm a shipwright. Like, hey, ain't no way.
Something happened there. I mean, Blackbeard, he evolved his ships, man. Maybe every island he goes to, he gets one upgrade. Like, oh, I'm gonna get a kitchen on the next island. I'm gonna get a bathroom in the next island. Like he'll just keep on upgrading.
You're saying that like Stanson shows up to Water 7 and he's so bad that Iceberg spits on him, doesn't even let him onto the island as a shipwright. Get your nasty work out of here. Just spits on him. Ooh. He's so that bad.
Do you think humans are racist towards Stanson? Because he's a giant? They're like, ooh, like a giant making a ship? No, they do lousy work.
That'd be wild.
They lack attention to detail. Those warriors, those savages.
I mean, that's impossible because like we've seen them build stuff.
The giants?
Yeah, like Mother Caramel's house was built in a day. Like they relocated her ass.
Yeah, but how many people know about Mother Caramel's house though?
I mean, technically it's Whole Cake Island, so like Whole Cake Island should probably know a little bit.
Yeah, but just Whole Cake.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
the
a whole
house isn't
cake.
there anymore.
No, I think it is there.
Mother
Right?
Caramel's house is still there?
I think so.
I mean, we
I
don't
don't
see
think it
it
got
though.
demolished.
Like if it is there, we don't see it. I feel like you tear that orphanage down, right?
I don't think Big Mom would like that.
I mean, yeah, but like it's probably
Like, childhood
haunted.
home. Why is it haunted? She doesn't know that.
I'm gonna be honest,
Knowing
dude,
Big Mom,
like,
she turned into a home.
I'm
She
one of those
turned-
guys that like I'll drive around town sometimes and I see like all these abandoned buildings and I'm just like, dude, tear it down, man. Who cares who owns the deed? Who cares about who owns the land? Just tear it down. It looks ugly. It's abandoned. Nobody's using it.
Damn, bro. What happened to this is America? Personal rights, freedom of rights.
Dude,
you can't just
too
tread
many
on
rights.
my property.
I agree with like giving people a lot of rights, but let me tell you, sometimes like if it's at the cost
Castle
of
law.
if it's at the cost of making the city look good, I mean, just tear it
I
down.
have the right to defend my castle, Si. What are you
Your
gonna say?
castle ain't the same as a building.
Hey, that's not according to Texas. Yeehaw.
I mean, it depends. It depends, yeah. And I like that. I like that law.
Yeah.
Castle law's not
that's why
bad.
we
But
can't
then
tear it
again,
down.
I also live in Oklahoma, so my
But the law
views
that
are
I
kind of
think-
skewed.
The law that definitely needs a patch or like a rework is the squatting laws in America.
Oh
I get
yeah,
why
I don't
they
know. Dude,
existed
squatting law
back
should
then.
die. My God.
Yeah, squatting laws existed for a reason back in the day, but like it's modern times now. Like we literally have Zillow. Like we just get this shit out of there. Like we don't have it's not Bonnie and Clyde era, the Wild Wild West. where
Yeah,
it's like,
people aren't just dying on the side and you don't know like where they live and their property goes unused for years and years.
yeah, and
like,
so like
squatters'
to
laws are
manage that, you
insane.
just have people like, okay, to manage this, if you find a house and no one comes for 3 months, it's yours now. Like we've been long past that era.
Yeah,
I don't know how
dude.
that still
Squatters
exists
are
to
the
this day.
worst.
Yeah.
Whenever I
yeah,
see like a
that's
video of a
that's
squatter on YouTube or something, I'm like, I can't watch it because I actually get like a little bit upset. I'm like, ooh, no, I can't do it.
Yeah. You know it's bad because it's so bad that there's no like courses on how to be a squatter, unlike all the other like criminal activities that are like adjacent criminal activities. Like
Yeah.
squatters are the one, like we have pyramid schemes that you like, hey, buy my course, blah blah blah. Here's how you blah
And-
blah blah. But not with squatting. There's no one giving tutorials on that because that's how grindy
Yeah.
it is.
And just in case people don't know like what a squatter is, essentially, if
In
you're not
America.
home, yeah, in America, and I think Australia too, they're pretty bad with squatters over there.
Yeah, Australia also makes sense why that existed.
Yeah, but
They lost a war to kangaroos and emus. Like,
Yeah.
hell, like
So a squatter is essentially where if you're not home, if your home is vacant for a while, and if somebody like moves in, like a homeless person, if they're there for a certain amount of time, they can claim that as their own house. Essentially, that's like the
Yes.
brass tacks of it. I think I'm missing a lot of nuance there, but it is literally that easy though.
yeah, some places it was like 60 days. 60 days and you reside there and you can prove it that you've been there. Boom, it's yours. Got the deed.
Yeah.
It's rewritten.
And
Doesn't
if
matter
you
who,
come back
what, where.
home, you can't just kick them out because they are a tenant at that point. So the
Yup,
problem with a
yup.
lot of squatters is that people leave for a little bit, and when they come back home, boom, somebody's living in their house, and they can't get rid of them. The police can't get rid of them. They are
Yeah,
a
they have a
legal
legal
tenant,
right.
and they have rights. Yeah, which I
Yup.
think is ludicrous. The fact
Yeah,
that they have
yeah.
as many rights as like the homeowner is crazy to me. I
Yeah,
think at that point, like, I don't know. You don't want my take on it, but I think that they shouldn't exist, to say the very
Yeah.
least. I think that's insane.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
frustrating
Like,
that that's a
again,
thing.
This is like a 300-year-old law that should have been gone like 200
Yeah,
years
it
ago. Like,
never got patched. And a lot
Yeah.
of states don't care to patch it because that takes a lot of time and money, which I think is kind of dumb
Yeah.
too. Like, it just shows how like
Yeah.
twisted like the legal system is nowadays.
Yeah,
Like, we
especially
can't
and
patch
it's
an
like
obviously bad law.
the problem is like probably like one person, like it's probably like 5 people per state kind of thing, so which is why it's like not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But like it's also like kind of wild that it can't be solved faster. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
If you guys want an idea, like, of course, this is like an extreme case, but Asian Andy has a YouTube video where he films a squatter in his house, and this squatter just randomly moved in, and since he can't get rid of her with police, he just tries to annoy the hell out of her. And I think
Like,
it's a pretty
I
good
think-
video series.
Boarding up the door and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
then
you can't
get,
you
like,
can't
charged
board up
with
the door.
imprisonment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she'll call the police and say, "Oh, he changed the locks. He can't change the locks because I'm a resident here." But it's his house, and it's like, okay, come on. What are we talking about here, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. It ended up with the lady being arrested because they harassed her so much she lost her mind.
Yeah.
So there was like a happy ending to it, but now she's suing because now she's suing the homeowner. So it's crazy, dude. Yeah, the amount of rights we give to squatters is insane.
Yeah. Speaking of squatting, Piper
and Gerd can squat on us. So they're going to Roto. We already kind of talked about it, but when they get to that room, they're going to see quite the scene. Roto's going to be laid on the ground, burnt to a crisp, essentially, because of Zeus. There's a hole in the wall. Do you think they're going to be able to piece it together? That Roto kidnapped the Straw Hats. Also, the Thousand Sunny should be there too, like in some separate room, I think.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it should be in that castle, realistically, unless like Roto sent it off somewhere else. But yeah, should be there somewhere.
I mean, I loved your idea that
the ship in a bottle.
Just in a bottle. Yeah, that would have made the most sense. But like, also, it would have been great if that was the case, because what could the Straw Hats even do?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say that their ship was in a bottle in Roto's workplace. They found it. It's there. Let's say they even open the bottle and they go inside. They can't do anything. They can't lift the ship.
Yeah, they probably just have to like kude burst all the way to the shore. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 10 kude bursts. Get it on water again. So,
I like that idea. I liked that prior, as far as an idea goes, because I sometimes like it when you have to like go back for something, like sometimes like in a game, you know, like there's something that you
like
can't
backtracking
do just yet. Yeah, and then
that's
like
rare. A lot of people hate backtracking.
Yeah, backtracking's not normally always done well, but like there's times where it's like there's a pathway that there's other paths that are now accessible when you backtrack, right?
Yeah.
And now things make way more sense. And so it's like, maybe you could have done it earlier and it was harder or something, or now you get like new things as well. Obviously, I'm talking about a video game. But like, as far as backtracking here, it'd be kind of cool if they like, I don't know, they had new allies, or I don't know, something to bring back here to do something different. Maybe save the people also. Oh yeah, there's also the people that, well, they don't have to care about the people, honestly. But
yeah, and then even the people were like, hey, maybe we should get out now.
Yeah. But I don't think the people can, honestly.
I mean, there's a hole in the wall, so they could totally leave now.
Yeah, but like they can't survive.
They were losing to a
rabbit.
We gotta have faith, Par.
They were losing to a rabbit in a tamed environment. You think they're gonna make it off this mountaintop in a frigid Elbafian hellscape where there's giant wolves that are probably the size of these Gorosei members? Like, absolutely not.
That's pretty fair.
I think they died to the snow. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess they have no hope anymore, huh?
It's just like
go back to the Lego Kingdom and just live.
Their reality should make it to the bridge, look at the gap between the first wood plank and the second, and be like, you know what, guys, it's safer inside.
Ooh, or they all tame the grasshoppers of Elbaf and just leave.
The grasshopper should die immediately. There's no shot they survive in the snow. They should be turned to ice pops.
Hey, it's a world of One Piece. Maybe they're like ice grasshoppers.
Oh, I like that.
Like how wacky the Gorosei designs are. Like, let me tell you, what if we get to the official coloring of the grasshopper and it's like white and icy?
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, don't get me wrong. They're not grasshoppers. They're flake hoppers.
Speaking of
drop hoppers. Ooh, drop hoppers.
Yeah, speaking of the animals of the Roto Kingdom, East Cat, we lose them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, but like they break
Science
the wall.
Science simulation.
Oh my gosh. Nah, it's a hallucination, huh? It's a mistake, Oda. Mistakes. Oh my god.
Giant cat.
It looks like East Cat just runs off. Like, it leaves the room, then he just disappears.
It's a
I'll never
simulation.
forget. I'll never forget that war, that battlefield, man. My God.
I didn't even fight the battle, but I can smell it from here, bro. It's like trying to fight with people who thought it was a simulation. And there's nothing wrong with thinking about it, but it's the amount of fight you give for it.
Yeah, that's what
crazy.
it is. Like,
yeah.
base level theory, I think it was fine. Hallucination, simulation, illusions, sure, why not? But for people who fought so damn hard on that battlefield, I will never understand it. And then what did we get out of it? Oh, Gear 3rd and Gear 4th, like Luffy can now mix his forms together, which still a little bit awkward because technically that was a Gear 3rd attack anyways, but
yeah.
Like either way, it was insane. Like they were like, oh, like Usopp's missing a satchel. Luffy wouldn't pass up a chance at food. He had a sword in that picture. He had an axe over here. Nami, dude, her sword, it disappears right here out of nowhere. And it's like, guys, this happens very often in One Piece. Like
You're just now paying attention.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like people are just now paying attention to like the small details of things they can't draw in. It's like it's not possible to draw some of these things here. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah, this has existed in like every single arc.
Yeah,
but like
every single arc, every single chapter. Like there are always going to be inconsistencies. Like no matter how small you look. I think there's one where people were like, "Oh my God, Luffy doesn't have the straw hat. It's not him." And then even in this chapter, people are still like, "Dude, I don't think this." People, I'm not even joking. They're either dead serious or they're just trolling. But they're like, "Oh, Luffy doesn't have the straw hat this chapter, guys. It's not him." Like even right now, I'm like, "Bro, stop! Get away from me."
The brain rot of I'm saying brain rot kind of is the word facetiously here, but like more so like in the sense. Some of the comments, man, they do grind in your brain a little bit because like they don't get you mad, but you kind of like sometimes you read them and this gonna sit with you, and enough people sitting on you, it gets tough to breathe sometimes.
And I just want to reiterate, I don't think it's bad to have theories like this. I really don't. Yeah. But like you said, it's the amount of fight they have for the theories. Like when I remember my problem was I was like, hey guys, I think it's fine. They're like, oh, so you think Oda makes mistakes then? It's like.
Like
guys, Oda makes mistakes. Boo. He's a regular person. It happens all the time, guys. There's
nothing wrong with out there theories. Me and Sai are Exhibit A.
Yeah, we make stupid theories all the time. It happens.
The one that we probably fought the hardest and maybe we shouldn't have was the Recycle Cur one. And like, but if someone
I don't
hit
think
us
we fought
with, like,
hard on that. I think we just joked about it too much.
We talked about it enough a long time. People would mistake us for like, oh my God, they really believe in
this.
They're
the Recycle Cur guys.
If someone hit, like, actually no, people did hit me up with this at Anime NYC, like some people who watch the channel, and they hit me with it like, but what if he doesn't matter? I'm like, yeah, that's possible, but like what if?
Yeah.
I was like the
just how it
matching is. Here is if someone made a counter theory of the Recycle Cur, like, oh no, like what if this is like Joy Boy's dog or something? I'm like, no, Vegapunk's going to turn into this dog by then. How could you think otherwise?
Yeah, like imagine they release like a diss video to like, discredit other theories. Like that's not gonna happen. Like it's just the amount of fight people have for it is crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't see the vision, guys. Like, obviously, Oda would never like not do this or not do that. Of course, Oda always draws Luffy with the hat. It's like, no, it doesn't. That's not even true.
I've stayed off of Twitter. I've been off of like
it's for the best.
Internet. But
I gotta detach, brother.
Still know like exactly like everything that you're experiencing. I'm like,
and I don't want to rant too much. We can move on. We can move on too. Like I don't like being the guy that just keeps on ranting about the same thing over and over. But that really did annoy me a good amount.
It's funny because we talk more about Sukiyaki than this.
Yeah, we really do. But also, people don't like our Sukiyaki talk, which is fine. I mean, I get it. Imagine tuning it. So for us, right, we talk about One Piece like almost every single day for hours on end. So every time we hit Sukiyaki, it's like a brand new feeling. But imagine tuning into only these videos once a week. These are the only videos you watch. The only time you hook up to the One Piece community, and it's always Sukiyaki. So I understand the frustration. I get it. I think that makes a lot of sense.
It's an evolving conversation for us.
Yeah. It's like one of the 10 conversations a week, but if like you're only hooking up to the Parcast and it's always sukiyaki, I do apologize for that, guys. I apologize for the Wano talks.
I don't know if you saw it. You should pin it.
I know who you're talking about. He does it for a lot of my videos.
That guy deserves an award because that's not the AI timestamp. That guy watches these things intently. And I love you. I just need to give you a personal shout out for that.
I always like to explain it as well. So what we're talking about is during these Parcast videos, I wish I remembered his name. I remember like yesterday, but there's one guy who will comment on every single one of these videos, and he has the most elaborate timestamps known to mankind, and I love him.
They're honestly funnier than us.
Yeah, and they make us seem a lot funnier than we actually are. Like I'll look at him, I'm like, bro, what? Like I will go through the Parcast. I'm like, what is he talking about here? Like,
yeah, my favorite thing is like I was like, oh, people are probably gonna like think like me and you were super serious when we're talking about like the she and practice. And then his comment, I was like, he gets it.
So here he is. He's called the Not Stamp Goat.
That's great.
So like he'll timestamp it. Like the first one last week was the geeky Point Dexters begin their quarter moon yapping ritual. One Piece movie talk. Nami wants to blow Roto. The Sleeping Misbelt theories. Roto theories. The Divine Generals finally locked the hell in. And then back to the chapter. Par critiques the prison wall using construction knowledge he got from building a border. Like it's just a bunch of silly timestamps like that. And I really do appreciate it and love it too. I will pin the next one.
You can tell he actually watches like and takes in what we're saying, which is also like, be careful. There's a lot of brain rot here.
Yeah, there's a lot of brain rot. Me and Par, like, we're kind of stupid guys. I'm sure you already know it, but also shout outs to the person who made the Quartzark fan art as well.
Oh, I saw. I didn't see it, but I saw you responding to them.
Yeah, we got our first Quartzark fan art, and
that's
I love it. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, you pulled up quick. What the hell?
Yeah, I see it.
I literally said, hey, we have fan art. And you're like, whoa! Like, what? You act like we're Joe Rogan. We have like a big screen. Hey, Chris, pull it up over there.
Is his name Chris?
I don't know.
It's not Chris.
I don't watch the GRE. I have a lot of friends who do, though, but I already have my own podcast.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
No, no. I meant like I already have my own podcast that I listen to. Sorry. I'm not saying the Parcast is like a huge thing. No. I have like I listen to Unsolved Murders.
Yeah. It just sounded like podcast. You were like, damn, bro. Why would I listen to this? I have 6 podcasts of my own to handle.
No. I love like unsolved murder mysteries and things like that, like true crime. I'm one of those guys. So
yeah, makes sense.
Back to the chapter though. Luffy, he says he feels goosebumps. He's been feeling them ever since Oroto's castle, and I want to argue it's not goosebumps he's feeling. It's STDs.
Oh, which ones are you?
Not exactly familiar with them, but whichever one gives goosebumps. So he's like, hey, there's a roar here. It's coming from down there. So he jumps down and he just takes off. And I love how the Straw Hats kind of just let him go. They're like, hey, Luffy, stop. No, like, he's the captain. Like, if Luffy wants to go, he's going to go. Like, you can't do anything about it. But they do stop Zoro from going.
Yeah.
And that is hilarious.
Zoro forever. They would never find Zoro ever again.
In a giant forest, my God, we would lose Zoro. I joked about it, but I also was a little bit serious. I was like, guys, if Zoro goes into the woods, I don't think we'll ever see him again.
Do you remember the last time he got lost in a snowy island?
I'm trying to think.
Drum Island.
Was it Drum Island?
Well, a snowy place. I'm just saying that because he was skinny dipping in the river.
Yeah, and then that's when he saw Wapol and the boys, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was some random thing. Like, I was remembering, and I'm like, this is such a fever dream that everyone was like, what are you doing? And he's just like, I don't even think he had a response. He was just like,
he just wanted to swim.
Yeah.
And he didn't expect the water to be so cold, which is kind of silly, but it is what it is.
I think, like, not that Zoro would die on Elbaf, but like,
he would just get lost for too long.
Yeah, like he would become a myth.
Yeah,
like,
no, I was gonna say
Giants.
He would be like so I used to do like a sake class back in the day because I used to like sell a lot of sake on the side, And we have this one sake called what? Why are you
Green
laughing?
Fairy.
No,
I
it's
don't know,
not
just
Green
the way you
Fairy.
said on the side, because I'm pretty sure I knew what you told me about this like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's just my job. I say like it's like some underground business. So for my job, I had to sell some sake bottles, and I forgot what it was like. The Bride of the Fox is what it was called. And every time we sold it, they wanted us to tell a little story about it. Like, yeah, like this sake originates because up in the mountains, there's this fox lady that lures Japanese men there by making mushroom sounds.
Yeah,
and they just go into the forest and they get lost.
Yeah.
That would be Zoro. Like, he would just be like the man in the forest. Like, oh, did you hear about that green munchkin in the forest that just cuts your foot off if you see him?
He would be worse. He would be like the Dentadas, like the people, like at least with the Dentadas, the way it was a both-sided agreement. They just ignored them and were like, oh, it's the fairies, and that was like an agreement that they had apparently.
Yeah.
And on the other side, it was the Tatadas are actually just small and really powerful and really capable. In this case, Zoro would actually just be like invisible to them and just be able to kill all of them. Like if they accidentally stepped on him, they'd be like the green ant that can slice off your toes. Like,
have you seen that one Discovery Channel video a long time ago, where I think it was like Monsters Inside of Me is what it was called. I think it was Animal Planet actually. And they tell you about like parasites and little bugs that can really mess you up. And there was one where this guy, he was just walking on like the street or like a sidewalk, and he stepped on a snail. But the snail like stabbed him ever so little, and it gave him this bacteria that killed him like 10 minutes later. Like that would be Zoro.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
so
dude.
100%.
Life is scary, man. Like some things will just mess you up, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the most random bacteria.
Reality is crazier than fiction.
Yeah, like, it really is.
Fiction's made to imitate reality sometimes, and even Oda's world. Oda's world, there's things where it's like we have crazier actually, and it's like that snail. We don't even have that in One Piece.
Yeah, like a snail that just kills you instantly. Oh my god.
Yeah, wild.
So
even the blue ring octopus, Hyozo. He wasn't one-shotting people, but in our world, my god,
Hyozo would have just killed you by looking at you.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh man, you really need to watch Fan Letter. There's a really funny. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's like a really funny scene with Sanji and Zoro. It's so freaking good, man.
Damn.
Yeah,
they fit a lot in this 24 minutes. I gotta check it out.
I saw somebody post on Twitter that one scene. You'll know when you get there, but they're like, yeah, this one scene's gonna be used for years to slander somebody.
Oh,
I'm like, oh my god, and I could see it was a 1000% setup. I don't know what they were doing with that one. It's a bad day for a certain fan base.
Oh no!
It's one of the rare scenes in anime where I actually laugh too. Like I let out a little chuckle. I was like, oh god, yeah, they're cooked. But yeah. So Sanji stops Zoro. I'm surprised that Zoro and Sanji don't sense the roar too. It makes me kind of think that this might be the voice of all things, or maybe just Luffy's specialized observation hockey. What do you go with this?
Yeah, because if it's just hearing, it's like everybody has good ears. I feel like it's not like Zoro's animal-like, Sanji's senses, Nami literally feels the weather. Like hearing the roar different than observation hockey, right? Because if it's observation hockey, then Sanji should have sensed it before. At least like he should have be able to, maybe not before or better. But like it's like in Fishman Island where they sense caribou. Like Luffy goes like, "Do you guys feel that wild animal?" And that was just caribou. Whereas here it's like now we know what the target was. If it was power based, then everybody should have sensed it. And if it was just sound based, everybody should have sensed it. Like it's kind of a wonky thing.
So it's like the voice of all things.
It could be like a sun god mating call. I did that. Did lapse in my brain a little bit. Like only the sun god can hear each other. You know what I mean?
That'd be kind of interesting. Only the sun god can hear that call.
Yeah, like they can sense other sun god candidates or something like that. Like or parts of the sun god are there. You know, like because like Luffy is the sun god, quote unquote, like, but we don't have like a full context other than like the Gorosei and like, you know, Vegapunk saying like, this is the legend, right? But like then we got like the hands of liberation kind of talk, and then the drums of liberation, and it's like it's heart people, like where did that come from? Like there are components that could be spread out, so like it might be that like in the same right that like people were like, oh, Enel's super important. He has drums on his back and stuff like that. There could be another entire component to the Sun God Nika that like got split up. And the Devil Fruit was one of them. The Straw Hat is another one. And like Loki slash other people, maybe the Mera, maybe there's other components too. Maybe even Blackbeard's fruit. It might be that you combine all these fruits and that was Nika. Joy Boy just had like one of them. You know what I mean?
That sounds like
it could be
Black Myth Wukong, where like he has all of his 5 senses separated and you have to put them all together to get them.
Exactly. And Oda, like, boom, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, Harry Potter did something similar with the Horcruxes. Like, there's a lot of different genres and different stories and different worlds. Even in like standard mythologies, there's various versions of that as well, combining different components of in Norse mythology. There's also a thing too where I forget what it was, but yeah, I think Loki also has a story like that. But yeah, getting back to it, I don't know if we have the context to explain what
the roar of a man is.
Yeah. Other than like now, since we saw the target, now it's more confirmed. Yeah, it could be any of them. He has the aura to be all of them combined. It just wouldn't make sense if it was just pure power that Sanji and Zoro. Because if it was pure power, Zoro would not let anyone stop him, right?
Pure power.
He would also, yeah, like if he sensed someone really powerful, Zoro would want to run too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I think this is the voice of all things, the Sun God mating call, even. I think those are both good ideas.
Yeah.
But,
emphasis on the mating call.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, Zoro would want to see who it is.
Like...
if he could actually feel or sense this guy. And then I feel like Sanji would too. Like, Sanji has the best observation hockey here. So I'm surprised, like, that nobody else wants to go or, like, check it out. And then when you really think about, like, the opposite end, right? Like, instead of going with Luffy, they're just going up to the Yggdrasil tree. Like, they're not going to the coast to look for the Straw Hats, so... Yeah, I'm surprised they all just don't jump down.
Yeah, you're right. Like, why was the intention to go up, not down?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, huh?
If I want to get off... Like, at least they probably think that they're on Elbaf, right? Like, it's huge. They said Elbaf finally made it. So, like, it could be... Like Zoro said, let's find water. Let's find our ship, right?
Yeah.
But if they're on Elbaf, it's kind of like the same logic as the other Straw Hats, where they're like, surely they made it to Elbaf. So like, let's go to Elbaf and then we'll search. So it could be that kind of thing too. It's like, okay, we confirm we're now on Elbaf. Now that we confirm that, maybe we can search Elbaf instead of like around town. Which, you know what? Now that I think about it, escaping isn't really in their benefit, like, at all. Detaining Rodo is. Like, hey, Rodo, how did you get us? What happened? Like,
yeah.
How did we make it here? Where's our ship? You found us. Like, what about our ship? They should just, like, tie his ass up.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, just get some information.
Yeah, like, that's like, if I was brought...
But that's, like, the logical thing, right? Like, the Straw Hats aren't exactly, playing 5D chess per se.
I'm trying to think of an example in One Piece. Have they ever like when Usopp and Robin, like, they were tied down, they like asked the Tentatas, like, where are we? What are we doing? I mean, that's not the same thing here, but like in their scenario, right? Like, I'm thinking like a real world example. When you hear about someone who's captured and then they escape, it's because they're afraid of their captor. They can't beat their captor. It's like an armed thing, so they run. They find a neighbor. They find whatever, and that makes sense, right? Why would you like, unless you beat down your neighbor? But like it's very rare in a real world setting. But in their setting, it's like it goes back to the thing. Why don't they turn around and just beat his ass, right? They can't. And like Nami did. Nami they're frying his ass. Yeah, they're having fun. I guess like they ascertain they want the adventure, but like the crew, if they were all together, that's one thing, right? But they don't remember anything. They just showed up here. Naturally, be like, okay, so let me ask. I just lasered down this guy. Let me ask him.
Well, he's unconscious now, though.
Yeah, they got Chopper.
Yeah, they're gonna nurse him. They're gonna nurse Roto back to health and be like, "Hey, Roto, how do we get here?"
Yeah,
No. I agree. It's just adventuring, you know. They're just hanging out.
The adventure of it. It's fun though. That at this rate, do you think that they're gonna meet a new giant? Like, are they gonna meet Stanson, or like they're not gonna meet someone that they know? They're gonna meet someone new, right? Because they're dodging the new giant pirates.
I hope so. I hope they meet a new giant, and then I hope that's when Hajrudin or Stanson shows up.
Yeah. So but you said it too. Like, it's interesting that the Strawhats are just like leaving Luffy and it's like continuing, and so that's not like helpful either, right? Like
Leaving Luffy, yeah, he's
Luffy
just gonna get lost.
Luffy met like the exact opposite of like a good thing for them, and now the rest of the Strawhats are gonna meet someone else, right? And so, like, at the end, this is like set up for disaster.
Yeah, which we'll get to that too, because Luffy runs into Loki. Like,
yeah.
And he's by himself, which, like I said, we can talk about that here in a second, because that's a big one. So
yeah.
Going on a little bit, we see the Elbaf ship, the one that's off the coast of Egghead.
Yep.
I keep on saying Egghead. It's Elbaf now. Yeah, we've just been on Egghead for so long. Yeah, too many E's.
Yeah. Should have changed the name.
They say, it says, what? We attacked Egghead. And they're like, yep. They spun it around. Dorry and Brogy helped Emperor Straw Hat Luffy set Egghead ablaze. And we see the bounty. They both have 1.8 billion. And somebody pointed this out. A lot of people have been talking about this, but apparently that is really realistic inflation for 100 years ago. If you had, I think they said, like, if you had $100 like 100 years ago, it would be 1,800 today, which is kind of nuts if Oda did that too. Like, it's one of those, like, I keep on talking about this, but it's like one of those things, like, is this a coincidence, or is Oda just playing like 4D chess and having fun? We don't know, but either way, 1.8. How do you feel about that? Is that a really warranted bounty here?
Hell yeah. Yeah, the giants came back. They're like a mythical race. Their saliva dissolves rocks to the like normal layman person. And then on top of that, like, they beat down the Gorosei. Like, they got to put money down on these dudes, bro. The disrespect that the Gorosei took from these giants is off. Like, I think they took more disrespect from the giants than like any other human. You know what I mean? Like, Luffy disrespected them, sure, but when you think about it, he didn't, like, I think the most disrespect to the Gorosei was the pancake. But like, other than that, it wasn't really that crazy. You know what I mean? I guess Mars got a little disrespected with the belly one. But like, that's also like, you know, I feel like it's the Saturn and Dorry clash, chopped in half, wrestled the horse down. You know what I mean? That's like, they were touching them. You know what I mean? Like intimately hugging them. You know what I mean? Like standing over their dead body, laughing at them. And you could even say that the Giants are a good reason why the Straw Hats made it out so safely too. Yeah. So it is. I think the Giants deserve it, and then also like their bounty's higher than. Well, we don't, and that's what's interesting about this is like I was like, oh damn, the new bounties. Like Luffy didn't get one yet. I think he has one. I think all the Straw Hats have a new bounty, but we just don't see it. They should. They need to. Yeah. But it wouldn't make any sense if they don't get it. Yeah. And last we know, 3 billion was Luffy's mark. So to combine Dorry and Brogy and him being above makes sense. Being above would make sense. But it would only really make sense if Luffy got higher too. Like, it wouldn't make sense to leave Luffy at 3 billion and then give them 1.8 each. Yeah. In my opinion. Because Luffy killed Vegapunk, right? Luffy fought the Gorosei. Luffy escaped a Buster Call. Like, he's the one who did this. Like, if he stayed at 3 billion after all of this, I'd be like, yo, what does he need to do to get a higher bounty at that point? Yeah, like, do you think he's, like, the thing is, like, he has to be lower than Roger still. Oh, 100%. Like, I don't agree with Luffy being, like, 6 billion or 5 billion yet. I think Luffy's like 4 billion. I think that makes the most sense. 5 billion would still be under Roger, right?
5 billion would be under Roger. The problem with 5 billion is that I don't want him above Shanks yet. I think him equaling Shanks or being around Shanks is perfect. But surpassing Shanks right away, I think, would be kind of crazy. Unless Shanks gets a bounty upgrade too. There's also that possibility. Because Shanks just beat Kid and Barto, so maybe he gets something from that.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Like, I don't... Like, I know what you mean. Like, having above Shanks is weird and awkward a little bit. But I'm also like... Like, I feel like Shanks is also be like... Like, he would have the fourth wall line of bounties don't mean anything.
True. Actually, no, now that I think about it, I think all the Emperors will have a bounty boost. Like, Shanks included. So, Shanks, he beat Kid, he beat, Barto. Luffy did the Gorosei thing. Buggy should be acquiring the poneglyphs right now and or amassing his army. So, maybe he does, like, the whole, like, Gekomori thing. So, he gets Gekomori in his crew. Boom, another bounty boost. And then for Blackbeard, he has Garp. So, I really do think that their bounties will all just go up across the board. So I think Shanks will still be above for now.
They might all add up to like, oh, never mind, that wouldn't make sense. I was gonna say like 99999, but that doesn't make sense.
I think they already passed that.
Yeah,
I hope their bounties go back in time a little bit. But no, like I feel like the bounties are gonna be massive. The reason we don't see them now is because there's no reason to. Like for Robin, like they don't even know like why Luffy has the X on his arm, which I guess is the next big thing. Luffy has an X on his arm. Did he always have that X on his arm, and are we just blind?
No.
It's Vivi, huh?
Yep. That's super easy. Like.
Yeah, it's just Vivi.
Yeah. I feel like new readers, old readers, it doesn't matter. I feel like this is probably the first conclusion every level of reader probably came to is like, oh, Vivi.
Ooh, here's a good one. Robin just yesterday drank the green fairy. Is this a hallucination though?
I mean, they all saw it, right?
It's mass hysteria. That's what people were saying back on during the Lego Kingdom arc. The reason they all saw the same thing is just, mass hysteria. They're just dreaming the same thing.
I think the reality would be funnier if it was flipped and they just actually weren't paying attention to Luffy.
When Bonnie my god, yeah, he actually just has an X on his arm.
Yeah. That
wouldn't be bad. I mean, the thing is that like Robin, she's very specific. She's like, hey, like in his freedom form, like, does he just have this? Yeah. Or like, does he just have this when he's free? And it's like, yeah, like I don't think that's the case, but it does make me wonder about like Joy Boy and like Nika and Emmett and all of them. Because we did see that Emmett does have the X on his arm, so maybe there is some connection there.
A lot of X's. X on the back, X on the arm.
Yeah.
Like,
XXX. Guy loves porn.
Yeah, Emmett. Oh, perfect disposition for that one. But the like, there's definitely going to be a parallel with Lily in the past and all that stuff. And like, it's got to be something like the D Clan was the X back then. You know what I mean? Like X stands for 10 in Roman numerals. And if back then, X can mean Diaz or DS or whatever, and that's 10. So D stands for 10. Could be that 10 families, 10 king. I don't know.
Ooh,
could be some.
DS Drake would go crazy, bro.
Yeah, and
that's when Drake needs to come back.
That's not even his real name, too. So why did Oda make that his name? His real name is Dorry. So
yeah, Dorry Drake, DD.
Yeah. So or no, his dad's name is Diaz Barrels, right?
Yeah, his dad's name was Diaz Barrels. Yeah,
and he is Dorry Barrels.
So he would be Barrel Dorry.
Yeah, and then he went with the epithet or name X Drake, which Diaz Drake for his family thing. Wait, was Diaz the family name, or I thought Barrels was the family name?
Bro, I don't know anymore, man. You think I care about Diaz Drake and his dad, Diaz Barrels? Let me see.
Like, I feel like Drake is gonna be that. Like, Oda's gonna make him weirdly important. I don't know why. It's just kind of gross a little bit, but
Red Flag X Drake, pronounced as Diaz Drake.
Yes.
Let me see. Family. Aliases Dorry.
Wait, but the Romanized version in English, like Funimation says X Draku, right? Or no?
in Japanese?
No, not in Japanese. I don't know.
In English? In English, they say Diaz Drake.
Do they really?
Yeah.
What about in Japanese? Did they say Exu?
No, they say Diaz too.
Diasu. Oh shit.
Yeah, they say, and they don't have that crazy, racist accent that you just did, but I mean that's just crazy. Like, my God. Yeah. Yasu. Yeah. Okay, Par. Taking us back to Wano, aren't you? Okay. Yikes.
Oh God. Yikes. Coming from you is great. Hitting me with a yikes. Oh.
Yikes, Par. Okay.
Yikes.
Feeling a little bit racist today on a Sunday, huh?
Yeah. Feeling it's racist Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, how fitting. His blood type is X. Or I'm sorry, Diaz. Diazu.
That's Par. I don't know how I'm gonna defend you.
By DC Douglas. What if they chose it's kind of close to DSU.
DC Douglas. Oh yeah, he does a lot of voices actually. Yeah.
Let me see this.
Oh yeah, he's Albert Wesker from Resident Evil. Oh damn, yeah, that's so cool. I was gonna say his name sounds so familiar. DC Douglas in English.
Legion from Mass Effect. Yoshikage Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yep. Zeft on Star Trek. Not bad. He was also in Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless, which movies I haven't heard of in ages. It's so crazy.
Shout outs to DSU Drake.
DC Douglas.
Yeah,
shout outs, man. That's cool. Dude, his Albert Wesker voice is so great. He's like, come on, then. Come on, Chris. Chris Redfield. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's a world where Diaz Drake is going to be important. The X, lines up the X.
You think so?
I don't know. It's just it's the same.
Here. I always like to do this. If you had to put money down, put your full weight, your family name on it, would you bet that Diaz Drake, the X in his name, actually is important? Because it's like what I said. Me and you, we make 1,000 really bad theories every single day, and we talk about them. But is this one of those theories that you would put your full weight behind? You'd put your feet down and say, "Okay, Diaz Drake, this is gonna happen." Would you do that though?
Full weight. I would put weight, but not full weight.
Scale of 1 to 10.
You wanna know why? I put full weight. 1 out of 10.
Yeah,
I put a 5 or 6 actually.
A 5 or 6. Oh, you feel pretty confident about Diaz Drake, huh?
Yeah. The reason why is because he so in my Caribou video, I noted how weird Drake is in the story of One Piece, because not only is he this random character that's he's with the Supernova. Oda puts random background in, but he's the current leader of Sword, which is an organization that's been punching above their weight class in importance so much that Kobe is in there and he's a day one character, and his captain leader is this guy, and this guy showed up counter to Killer, and Law had to stop him. Oh, Yarouge? Was it Yarouge?
So Arouge and Killer were fighting. Dude, I had this exact same conversation a day ago. Arouge and Killer were, pretty much. I don't know why he brought it up, too. Diaz Drake is making a comeback. But yeah, it's Arouge versus Killer. And then Diaz Drake steps in and stops them. Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah. So Oda does that, right? He has him counter to Law, because Law goes, how many people have you killed, Drake? And it's damn, what the hell? And then Kizaru is fighting him, and he's
okay, we got to use the word fighting a little bit loosely.
Well, Kizaru didn't he kick him in the face and was blasted at his ass, and he's oh, the full power of pacifistas, so you try to deal with them, and then he just let the pacifistas take care of him after that. So Kizaru, fighting him, but obviously
he was just there, yeah.
And then we find out that Drake was Kizaru's subordinate on Egghead, where when moving Vegapunk over, Drake was one of the people that was there, and he was there as a rear admiral. And it's like, what? So Oda tied that in, and then we move past that. His first mission is, in our full theories about Sword being infiltrating Yonko things, was because Drake infiltrated Kaido somehow, some way, and he has an ancient Zoan dinosaur. And then that's not even it. Oda just tossed his ass in Law's backstory, and he was the guy who saved Law's life by existing. And not only that, his existence, he was the only survivor of his family, because apparently he was the strongest fighter in his dad's crew, and he just like was afraid. He was a coward according to his dad, and he left.
He was like a Kobe.
He didn't just go anywhere. He was put underneath Sengoku. Like Sengoku took him under.
Here's the thing. I've
he
come
survived
to realize...
Doflamingo's birdcage. He was the first survivor that we know of Doflamingo's birdcage, because he like miraculously sensed it, and because they were like, oh, the Marines have caught a kid. They thought that was Law. And so they're like, oh, they must have escaped already. So the Doflamingo pirates are like, oh shit, we lost them. It was because Drake. And it's like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And then Drake was the one who freed Law on Wano. And it's like, why are we doing this to Drake? What's happening, Oda?
Drake has so much great hype. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like Drake.
Yeah, same.
Because he is
Dinosaur
a great
fruit,
character. I think if you just tell us if you told us just all of those points right there, he sounds great. He would sound like a 10 out of 10 character. But I do like characters that can back it up with strength, and Drake just has not been that guy. Like, if Oda just went that extra step and made him stronger and have, like, crazy feats, I would love him. But that's kind of where, I dial it back to. Like, he has so much potential.
Like, at this point, right? Like, okay... The thing is, I believe in Drake. Like, I feel like Oda just puts Drake in the weirdest scenarios, right? Where it's like, it makes no sense for him to even get shine. And then, like, he takes down a number alongside Gear 4 Luffy. Oh, that's crazy, right? Yeah, I mean, that's powerful. Awesome. And he was shown with Rio in the anime, whatever.
Was he really?
But, like, yeah, he had like a green aura around him when Luffy had the red aura. So like they were counter, and then they went by. Oops, sorry. They went by each other, and so like he coded his axe as a green aura in the anime. And so, you know, that's all good and dandy. But like for me, what makes sense for Drake is that if you put Drake on. Like, and it's weird. I don't agree with it either. That's why it's confusing. But if you put Drake in Groos's scenario on Hachinosu, I feel like he could handle it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when Garp shows up and he's like, oh, Drake's here. Drake should be in that weird power realm where Garp can rely on him. And like he doesn't have to believe in Kobe's infinite potential. It's like, no, Drake can handle this. Like, I know Drake can. Like, that's how strong when Drake sees that fist come down, Drake should be able to handle it. That's like it, and it shouldn't be that hard for him either. And I say that, it's like same thing with Zoro, same thing with Sanji, same thing with Luffy. What Kobe did was crazy for Kobe, but it shouldn't be crazy for like the normal, like those people, especially the leader of Sword. Which is like, where are we putting Drake? I don't get it. You know what I mean? And so it's like, there's so many different power stuff, but like that's where the X. Why is Oda giving him the X? And now in this chapter, like we're further emphasizing, we're bringing the X back. And it's like, I've always thought it's like, oh, like it's a weird thing, but like Diaz, 10, X, Drake, like D clan, like parallels, like, oh, Nami and them, they have the X thing for the symbol. What was Joy Boy's symbol? Was it a D for 10? Like, I don't know. They're like, Luffy's Brazilian, maybe like some Portuguese, Spanish like stuff is in there, and it gets related with it, right? I don't really know, but you know, not to bring the Sukiyaki trail back. I bet the Drake detour is worse than the Sukiyaki detour.
Well, I don't know. There's one guy in the comment section who really likes Drake, so he probably really appreciates all the Drake hype. Even though we slander Drake like every other time, but that's because we talk about his fights.
My guy showed up full bandages last time we saw him. What happened, Oda? Show us that. We need to know.
No, he still has bandages from the CP0 fight. Like I said, I
know.
think Drake has a lot of potential. It's just the fighting potential. And another character that falls in line is Hawkins. I love Hawkins, man, but let me tell you, guy's cheeks.
Yeah, he had of the supernova, he was like the coolest. He had the craziest setup. He actually had magic on him, in him, with him. Power makes no sense without magic. And now we introduce teleportation and magic circles, and we don't have Hawkins. I mean, Hawkins is literally the guy who could look at the Gorosei and be like, "Oh, that is the black magic my mother taught me." Like, what are we doing without Hawkins in the Gorosei? You know what I mean? Like, tarot cards.
Maybe we meet Hawkins here on Elbaf.
Stop it.
Hey, maybe, dude. But Hawkins on Elbaf?
All the Drake hype, and you brought up the most important thing. Drake 1v1, the strongest CP0 agent, and lived to tell the tale.
So that's a mistranslation, first off.
Oh, is it? I'm not on the internet, so okay,
yeah.
Okay.
He's among the strongest CP0 agents.
But I did see there was like someone who posted, guys, I've been telling you this the entire time. You can really tell because he has 3 badges instead of like 2 or something like that.
He's probably like the most decorated. It's probably like Captain. I look at the CP0 agents who came to Wano as Captain Axehand Morgan.
No, but like the Gorosei also said that they're like his best agent. We lost our best agent.
Yeah, but are we really gonna take the Gorosei's word at face value?
Oh, now we're picking and choosing
and also,
Gorosei words.
Like when it comes to like the Gorosei saying Joseph is like the best agent, it could just be like he delivers the coffee the fastest, right?
He's the most he's decorated.
Yeah, he just gets like the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never know.
Yeah.
But also like spinning it back to the chapter for a second, Vivi. Will Vivi come to Elbaf or will we go to Vivi? That is the main question people have been asking. I'm on the boat that Vivi comes to us, because I don't think we'd be able to find Big News Morgans considering he's just flying. I think it makes more sense if they come here.
I'm actually a little bit different in the sense that I think that this kind of tells us that Vivi's not going to play a role here because this would be their way of
okay.
Yeah, exactly. And 3D2Y was essentially that. Like, you guys handle your stuff, I'm handling my stuff. And I'm okay, and we'll meet up. So like because 3D2Y exists, it's kind of like, okay, we're good. And the reality is they already came to that conclusion. So like her coming here now would not that it wouldn't make sense, but more so like so this is my favorite part of seeing this X, right? Oda made it very interface. It's center on the panel. It right in front of the thing.
Yeah.
Whoever took that picture deserves a lot of money. Great pose of Luffy. Arguably one of the best ones we've seen. It's in the Nika pose. Awesome. But my favorite part of this is it explains how Oda split the Straw Hats, and he split it up post Alabasta and pre Alabasta, which we already kind of got, but like the specificity of like the purpose was because everybody after doesn't know Vivi and doesn't know the tale, except for like Brooks should know because like it is kind of canon that he did read like Nami's logs, and so he read the story. So I guess Nami just didn't write the part where like, oh, we had X's on our arms, which fair. Brooke forgot. And like the other part that's a little funny is like Robin showed up on the ship like the next hour, and so as soon as they left Vivi, the Straw's like, get this shit off my God.
Yeah, they start taking off the X right away.
Yeah. I hate tattoos. Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever it was, like, Vivi, I want to forget about her. She causes so much problems. Like, so they just wiped it off. So Robin never saw it, and she's like, seems kind of familiar, which is good on Robin for like kind of thinking about it. I really liked how they split up the Straw Hats, and this was the purpose for it. And so now the current Straw Hats that see the message have no idea what the message is. They're just like, I feel like this is important. It's not important. And so that means that the Straw Hats, until they see this message, it doesn't, like if Vivi shows up without them seeing it, then the message is kind of pointless. You know what I mean? At that point,
it's like
just
Marco's
like
message.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what I mean?
Marco's like, hey, tell Luffy that I'll show up to Wano later. And then he showed up with Nekamamushi, who was supposed to deliver the message anyways.
Yeah.
It's like, fair.
And then like Vivi shows up and it's like, did you guys see my message? I'm good. It's like, you're here, you're good, thank you. Like the message isn't like the purpose of this being like I'm fine is not needed. And then the current Straw Hats like, didn't you guys get my message? No, we didn't. We don't even know who you are. Like, it's like
Yeah.
that's weird. And then so they would need to see the message, and then the other part of it that of this message is it tells them where she is. She's with Morgans.
Yeah.
So that would be okay. Get through Elbaf. They see the thing, the news. Robin shows them. It's like, oh my god, the X is there. Wait a second. That means Vivi's fine, and she's with Big News Morgans. Oh man, I hate that guy. He's always spinning the news. Look at how he wrote about Egghead. And then that creates the arc where it's like, okay, like we're gonna meet up with Morgans afterwards, or like somehow collab, somehow connect. Whether like maybe they meet up with Barto afterwards or somehow, and like Barto has the connects, or someone that they know has the connects to Big News Morgans, and they end up connecting that way. But so I don't that because of the message here, I think this probably means that we're not going to see them at least like first half of Elbaf. Like that
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense. Like we'd have
That's
to go
fair.
through an entire like story, and then when the story transitions from whatever current, kind of like how first half of Egghead was like the trader stuff. Like once we get over that hump, maybe we get a VV thing, but until then, I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty fair. Like, as far as Vivi goes, like, I thought it was kind of interesting that she didn't send a message to Chaka or Pell or Ingram unless they know about the X. Because, like, the way I'm seeing
Which
it right
they
now
shouldn't.
is that, like, they're worried about her. They're looking for her. The country's in turmoil. And, like, they don't even know if she's alive.
Yeah.
So you would think that she would send, like, some kind of sly message to Chaka or Pell saying, hey, like, I'm good, guys. Or, like, hey, you know where to find me. But
I would do a word puzzle.
no. A word puzzle? Like a crossword
Yeah, like
puzzle?
what are the chances that the Gorosei and Emu are doing word puzzles, right?
I think it's actually really high.
Ah, shit, you're right. They're all old men.
Yeah, they're old.
You
They're
can't even
old
do
guys. Of
Sudoku?
course, they're doing crossword puzzles, man. I feel like
Ah, damn it. You're
as I
right.
get older, I've started like doing puzzles too. Like I'm signing up to like the Wall Street Journal daily. I'm like, okay, let me see. Like, what's the
Yeah,
puzzle today?
we got my father-in-law a Sudoku book. And day by day, that thing gets more. I'm like, damn, I should have gotten one for myself.
Yeah, I should have got one. What the hell? Maybe he's
Yeah,
steal
like
his.
it's just like when my son is playing around and like because if I'm on my phone, then he'll want to get like the phone is stimulating to him.
Yeah,
So it's like it's better not to have your phone out. And also giving your attention to the phone is bad bond for him. Um, it depends on your kid too how they operate. But if you're looking at a book, that's not as like problematic for the ecosystem of a kid. So like that's why it's like okay, let me just do Sudoku.
thankfully I'm not there yet. I've been playing
Yeah.
recently in my free time. I've been playing the stupid Kingdom Rush tower defense game I used to play back in like high
Like
school
Bloons
and
Tower?
college. No, I never liked Bloons Tower. I don't like the art style of Bloons Tower. I did Kingdom Rush, which is like another Apple Android game.
version of that. Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah,
a
it's like the
kind
same
of
thing.
mindless, not mindless, like an RTS type thing. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's always like I feel like mobile games are nice. You know, just pick up, go, play like for a minute or two, done.
Yeah.
No big time commitment. Which is why I don't play a lot of like big games nowadays. It's like, damn, as much as I would love to play League of Legends, but you know, I don't want to waste 50 minutes in a match, rage, and then quit afterwards and get like no LP. I'm good.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing. Like if I got back into League, I can do one game a day. But that's like what you need out of a thing. I could get way more out of an hour in most other games.
Yeah.
And then story games are terrible for me because I have to finish the story. Like I'm a
Yeah.
one sit insomnia man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. There's a
unless
lot of
I
good story games out there.
yeah. I mean, right recently especially like
Oh
but
yeah.
like what Baldur's Gate was the last one that people were telling me to play. But any of this is Baldur's Gate a soul game or whatever?
Baldur's Gate is solo. You can play multiplayer. I've been playing a Metaphor Refantasia, which is like another Persona-esque game, but more medieval. So that's pretty decent too.
Yeah.
I just wish you could make choices. I
All
like
these
games where you can make choices in the story.
I'd sit down. I would stream it, sure, but I'd be 18 hours. If the game took 18 hours, I'd try to do 17. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
just
just
finish
have
it.
to sit down, and that's terrible. That's like I can't.
Nah,
do
that's not
that.
bad. It's not bad.
Back in my day, it was fine. But
Yeah.
Nowadays,
So
you know.
now that we knocked out the VV portion, we're gonna get to Hajrudin. This man is actually the son of a king.
The prince of all giants.
Yeah. Not exactly what I expected. You know, Hajrudin having royal lineage. I didn't see that coming at all. But yeah, apparently he was a rambunctious kid back in the day, but he is the king's kid. And it's like, yo, what?
It's awkward because I agree with you. I didn't think royalty, but I was so close last week when I was saying like, oh, what if Hajrudin's just the son of the strongest giant, or like the leader of giants or whatever? And we kind of like sat on there, and like I feel dumb because like we're talking about Vikings. Like the strongest giant is going to be the king. That's just how it is, and we never said that. But like it was so close, yet like I'm not gonna give myself credit for that because it's like the king and strongest. Like if it's just like contextually very there. But then it's like, then we get the full context of everything. And I feel like the reason why royalty sat so far away from us was because we thought Loki's the prince. So if we said that he's royalty, then that would be saying that Hajrudin is Loki's brother, which that's the jump that kind of set us apart, where it's like, oh, like at least for me, it was like, okay, Loki's royalty and Hajrudin's like meritocracy. And it's like they could fight on that terms. No, they are apparently
brothers.
Related. Yeah, like that's a logical leap that I could not buy myself into last week, and it deterred me from making the leap of royalty. But when you think about Hajrudin, it kind of makes sense. Like it feels good. Like now,
I mean, it's fine, but like I don't think there's anything back in the past that would lead us to this conclusion.
Yeah. It's just like what I mean by that is it fits in when Luffy meets someone important from an island. They're usually some kind of like top dog. You know what I mean? Luffy. That's the problem. Like Luffy never meets a normal person usually beforehand. Like Dorry and Brogy, captains of the giant pirates. Hajrudin, prince of all giants. And now he's on the island. Who does he meet? He meets Sun God and the other Sun God. Oh wow, you know what I mean? Like Luffy, and the thing is, like Hajrudin makes sense because, like, I talked about this, and I'm not gonna skip on to the chapter because we can lay it on there too. But Hajrudin makes sense as the princess that he needs to save. Like Vivi was once undercover trying to save her nation. Hajrudin apparently was doing the same thing, and when shit hit the fan and like Luffy and Vivi came to clash, Luffy punched her ass in the face. And same thing with Hajrudin. Luffy got up there gear second, knocked his ass down, and so he got the Vivi treatment. And we should have known from that moment, Luffy only punches princesses in the face, right? Royalty, Doflamingo. Bellamy was Doflamingo princess, right?
No. I think we should squash this one.
Nah, but like the Vivi Hajrudin, they're both royalty. He punched her in the face. It was like, you sit your ass down. This is my stuff now. It's there.
Different context though.
Yeah, I guess so. One's in the tournament. Vivi was in a tournament for her kingdom. Very different tournaments.
I like how you stress. Yeah, Vivi was also in a tournament. Actually, if you really think about it, Vivi was in a tournament. I mean, she was trying to conquer Alabasta. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I love how you stretched all of that to like fit.
Let's. Life is just a big tournament.
Let me tell you. Hajrudin's a giant. Vivi has massive honkers. I mean, my God, it's just 1-to-1, Sai.
Their foreheads are massive.
Huge, even.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Vivi's gonna be shirtless just like Hajrudin. Like,
if only, dude. I think that's... I was about to say, that's horrible. I was about to say, that's the only thing Vivi's good for.
Oh, no.
As a Vivi hater, yeah.
As a Lily's top supporter, emus.
Yeah, as an emu supporter, let me tell you. So it turns out that, we were talking about this earlier, but Hajrudin wanted to go to Egghead Island, but the giants here, they had seniority. But so instead, they had to deal with the trouble on Elbaf, which it seems like, they just want to make sure Loki doesn't escape. That's essentially it, right? They want to make sure that the flames of war have quelled. And it's kind of interesting that they say that because it almost makes it seem like Hajrudin was guarding Loki, which we know isn't the case because Loki's just chilling by himself in the woods.
Spoilers, but yeah, that is.
Yeah, like what do you mean by keeping an eye out for trouble, guys? Like Hajrudin's not here. Like Loki could literally break out and nobody would notice.
But also like that's where it was confusing because he's not trouble, right? Like
Loki?
they have him tied up, they beat him up, he's done. Not that he's done, right?
Yeah.
But like you wouldn't like if you had a prisoner in prison where they belong, tied up in max like, you know, it's not like they're on the loose. You're not calling that prisoner up trouble anymore. They're not like, you know what I mean? It's a little the context of where Loki is right now. It's not like he's actively able to break. If he can, then sure, right? But like it doesn't like when we see him, it doesn't feel like he's capable of breaking out on his own. We don't even know if he has eyes anymore, right? So like them calling him the trouble sounds weird, but like it could be him, but maybe there's something else that Hajrudin was doing. But I wanted to point out, like, it feels like they're little broing Hajrudin super hard. Whippersnapper,
oh yeah,
rambunctious. Like it feels like they don't believe in him at all.
I mean, I think they believe in him, but he's still young, right?
Yeah, but it feels like
imagine you were in a boxing gym. You're like a hardened vet. Let's say you got Mike Tyson muscles, and then some like 5-year-old Poindexter walks into the ring. Yeah, like he's got potential, but like, would you little bro him though? Like, imagine there's like another fighter, like age 37, his win record's like 12-0, like 5 KOs, single hits. And then the kid's like, Dad, hey, Par, can I fight him? And you're like, I don't know, man. Like maybe you should just stay home for a little bit,
right? But like the profile you gave
but it's like he's young though, right?
Unaccomplished, like loser person. And what I mean by that is like Shanks would say this to 8-year-old Luffy, and he would say this to pre-time skip Luffy. But like he stopped. He's not saying that anymore. He's Yonko now. You know what I mean? Like he's made it, right? But Shanks kind of stopped saying that like post time skip too when he saw the things like, damn, you're a real pirate now. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I mean Hajrudin's still young though. Like he has a long way to go on his journey. But like, I think it's totally fine.
I think it's fine, but also like, wait, do we know Hajrudin's age actually?
Yes, we do.
He's like 90, right?
81.
81.
So
that's
he's
not
like
that young.
Yeah, it's not that young.
That's like 20 for Giants.
Yeah, and then but when you really think about like Ja Rule's like 408. So it's
Ja Rule, it's Yorl. Come on. I said Ja Rule too. What is 50
I said Ja Rule, dude. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's Yorl. Yeah. We can stick with Ja Rule. I like
Ja Rule. I always love Ja Rule, bro. Ja Rule's good.
The way you said Ja Rule with the emphasis was
I was talking about Ja. It's funny enough, I was talking about Ja Rule the other day too.
It's like you were summoning him.
The American rapper Ja Rule.
Ja Rule, and like smoke comes out.
Ja Rule,
someone say my name,
man. All I gotta say, that guy's out of his prime, but he's still good.
It sounded like a WWE announcement, bro.
Yeah, Ja Rule's, he's here, man.
Is Ja Rule in the building?
I always mess up Hajrudin's name because I sometimes call him Hajrudin, which is Hajrudin is the giant moth butterfly monster from Dragon Ball like Z.
What?
You don't know Hajrudin? One of the best villains from Dragon Ball Z? What the? No, I'm being serious. Like, look it up. He has his own movie. It's Wrath of the Dragon. Dragon Ball Z Wrath of the Dragon. He starts off as like a walking torso, or not a walking torso, like a flying torso and like walking legs.
All the bootleg Dragon Ball movies I have.
No, he's so cool.
Like, I feel like the movie you're describing to me was one that I thought was probably like a fake Chinese knockoff.
No,
like, it's like you pronouncing it. There's no shot that they went in the movie. Is that Hajrudin? Like, there's no shot.
They did that. So the Hajrudin movie is where Trunks got his sword too. Yeah. There's like this little kid named Minoisha.
It's
Hajrudin.
Okay.
It's literally Hajrudin. What are you talking about?
How you spell
Hir. Just do Degarn, I think.
You lost me. Hird.
Yeah, Hirudegan.
Okay.
Arn.
Oh, seeing it. Oh my god, yeah. Hajrudin.
Yeah, and he was a giant, funny enough. Yeah, he's a giant. Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool Dragon Ball Z villain. Goku had to beat him by that's where Goku first used the Dragon Fist.
Okay, but in Japanese they pronounce it Hiruta, like a name. Hirutagan.
How do you know that?
I'm on the wiki. The sound effect for jaw dropping in Japan is Gan, so they named the character Hiruta Gan.
Yeah, it's cool, dude. But Hajrudin's like awesome, bro. So that between Ja Rule and Hajrudin, like, let me tell you, these giants don't stand a chance.
Watch the version where they called him Leviathan.
What?
Yeah, apparently they called him Leviathan in some World Slayer, Leviathan, Phantom Majin. That sounds like what I watched. Some weird Chinese subtitle. Like the way the way it worked back then was the movie got released to some Asian countries, I think mainly like Malaysia and Indonesia. So they got the movie, they translate it from Japanese to Indonesian, then the Chinese would get it, translate from Indonesian to Chinese, and then the Chinese would translate their version of it to English. And then they'd sell it as a bootleg. And so you got like 6-hand translations of what actually was happening. And they were awful. But you had no choice back then. So you watched it. And I'm pretty sure the movie title that I have sitting at home is Phantom Majin. I'm pretty sure I have that DVD cover. When I go back to my...
Maybe. I mean, he is just the Phantom. They call him that in the movie too.
Oh. See, yeah. Hajrudin, Phantom Majin, you can see why I didn't connect the dots.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not a true Dragon Ball Z fan.
Oh my god.
It happens. You don't like I remember you told me you don't like Toriyama.
His race is Phantom Majin.
Yeah. That's why they mentioned Phantom Majin in the movie.
He's the same race as Majin Buu.
No, not really.
Though. Are you going against the Dragon Ball Wiki?
So Majin is just like demon. So there's like a lot of demons in Dragon Ball Z. There's a lot of classifications for it. Majin Buu is just one of them.
Yeah. Statue of Demon God by Clan of Evil Wizards. It's sounding like
Majin Buu.
Related to Majin Buu.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to generalize an entire race, that's totally fine by me, Par. But I like to look at these different tribes of Majin and say they're their own thing.
Crazy. Par, what about Buccaneers?
They're their own thing. Like, Par, I don't know, like, what you're on about. Like, you're just super racist today between the Yasu Drake and then we got this now. Like, you are just on a roll with the racism, brother.
You, in order to mock my bad interpretation, your interpretation is way worse.
I don't know.
Than mine.
I don't know if that was supposed to be Spanish, Japanese, or something, but like you were just going off, brother. So we learned a little bit about Loki, right?
That's like calling someone out saying the N-word and just like ripping it, just saying he's saying the horror.
So there's the accursed prince. We learned he has this little nickname, and it's crazy because he was born and they called him this, bro. Like, what happened? Why was he born and called the accursed prince? Like, was it like Odin and he just like started doing some crazy things? Like what was going on?
Apparently Sanji, I forgot his name. The
San
guy
Juan Wolf?
Sabaody. Fake Sanji. Goddamn.
The fake Sanji?
Yeah,
I don't remember his name.
Starts with a D, right?
Fake Sanji. I'll look it up.
I don't know why.
Oh, his name is Drip.
Drip. No, not that one. Not
the fake Sanji. Who do you want then?
The bounty poster one.
Oh, Duval.
Bro, I don't know why. I was gonna say Daruda Sandstorm.
That hurt. I was about to cough, and then you made me laugh when I was about to cough. I think you just gave me like a mini heart attack. What the hell? The Ruta Sandstorm. Yeah, that's a classic.
It starts with a D. What is it? Like Daruda? I was gonna say that. I was like, no, wait, that's a song. Like
Daruda Sandstorm. I forgot what that song sounds like. But can you like do the song? Yeah. Do you remember like back in the day, like that? Dude, memes have come so far. Memes have come so far. Like, dude, back in the day, that was the go-to joke. Oh my god, I hated it.
That was a primordial meme. That was a primordial meme.
It's like Chainsaw Man. You know, like in Chainsaw Man, they have like the primordial demons. Like, there's death, darkness, famine, plague, pestilence. Like the four horsemen. And then Darude Sandstorm.
Yeah, it was there with like Crazy Frog, but Darude Sandstorm quickly took
Rick Roll.
Yeah, Rick Roll. Yeah, the beginning
so of memes. It was never funny, dude. It was never funny.
Yeah, I didn't really. It was like because it was like the All right, I'm about to offend like a third of our demographic, but the age group just above us, they just like their comedy just never hit with like any generation after them. And they still rock with it. I don't like to this day. My like sister-in-law will say something. I'm like, bro, you're old.
Yeah,
you know what
it
I
happens,
mean, though.
dude. Yeah, like my yeah, I have some family members like that. Like they're still posting memes from like back in the day. It's like, guys, that wasn't funny 15 years ago. It's not funny today. Like, please.
Yeah, and it's just the primordial meme thing. Like, it's just the one that they had. They just have to stick with it.
Which I gotta say, this is a random side story, but I have an aunt. No, it's not. It's a cousin of mine, and she's a decent amount older than I am, and she's got like a family and everything, and a husband, and it's hilarious because every now and then I follow her on Facebook. And she'll post a picture of like the worst looking food known to mankind. She's like, oh, just cook the hubby a meal. And it's like chicken nuggets and like a carrot. I'm like, bro, stop. But she's being serious. And she's like, yep, they're going to love this. Like, you know, my husband just got off of a long day at work and I'm going to cook him something nice. And it's like the most plain looking burger known to mankind. Like a burger, like a slice of lettuce from Costco and just like a regular bun that's not charred or nothing. And I'm like, bro, stop. Like this, I'm embarrassed. I get secondhand embarrassment. But yeah, I'm sure everybody has like a family member like that just posts the most random like thing ever. They think it's like perfect.
Yeah.
So
for the record, my sister-in-law is funnier than that. She's more hip. But the most recent example, she said something. Me and my wife looked at each other like, she really just pulled out like the 80s for us. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh man. How do we get here, dude? Is it because we brought up Jarul? Or Jorul? Oh, by the way, I always apologize if I don't do this. If we ever hit a topic that not a lot of people might know about, I always like to clarify. But Jorul, sorry, man, it's a habit now. Jorul was the giant from Big Mom's flashback. The one giant that survived.
Wasn't that names like translates to so Yorl means like waterfall or something like that?
Yeah, Waterfall Beard is who is that's like his title, I believe too.
Yeah.
Waterfall Beard.
And then he had Yorl and Yarul. Yarul was like Mountain Beard or something like that.
Something like that. Isn't he dead? One of them died.
I thought so.
Yeah, one of them died, the other one lived, and then that's like their whole backstory.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's alive.
They could a little bit of a haircut would help them. They probably would have survived Big Mom as a baby if they just like trimmed the beard. They probably like those beards are hazards for them.
Maybe they can attack with their beards like Jiraiya from Naruto.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Life control, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
you are the semi-Kikan guy. Dude, do it. Say it.
Wait, say what?
Semi-Kikan, come on.
Semi-Kikan.
Yeah, let's go!
He said the thing. He said the thing.
He said semi-Kikan,
no,
guys.
But like, see, the thing is, I never thought about it, but like, they should have done that against Big Mom. You know how easy it would have been if they could use semi-Kikan? Just like tie her ass up. You know?
It's kind of crazy, huh? Like, hey, like the Giants lost to Big Mom.
Yeah, to this day, that's one of the contexts that's still.
Maybe they just don't want to hit a kid.
Like pre-Yonko, but like at the end of the day, you could say like, oh, like Giants losing to baby Luffy, baby Shanks, like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's nuts,
Big
dude.
Mom is different, obviously. Hajrudin was weaker than Baby Big Mom, right? Like Kid
Yeah,
Hajrudin, yeah,
yeah,
he was in the
Harden.
flashback and he was like beating up a thing, and then Big Mom just like one shot the same bear or something like that.
I
I
think I
think there was
remember
like
like Harden's face, like he was just really shocked by it too. He's like, "What? Big Mom
yeah,
beat a
yeah,
bear?"
yeah. How am I falling behind? Something like
Yeah, I'm
that.
falling behind to Loki, and now, or I guess Loki wasn't born yet. Loki's younger, but
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We know that Loki was born afterwards. Like, but we do
yeah,
we know exact? We don't know exact age.
we know exact age.
We do know exact age.
Yes. Let me see here. I think he's like 61,
61.
63. Let me see here. In chapter 866, the giants celebrate Loki's birth. So we
Oh,
do have an
right.
exact date.
Yeah, yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of crazy,
Oh,
huh?
so a cursed child, right? Going back to that, like technically Duval, when Duval was born, in chapter 0, he was like a cursed child too. So like it was a random thing in chapter 0 where after the fallout of Roger's death, one of the updates was Duval's birth.
Because he's so damn ugly.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh my god, this is a curse" or something like that. And yeah, so like I guess like, but the thing is, we see Loki, and I don't know, he's kind of
His eyes, though. Like, what if his eyes are super cursed? Like, imagine we take off the bandages and he has like penises for eyes.
yeah. I mean, that would do it. I guess you're right.
That'd be scary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
I mean,
I don't know what's
like
going on. I've just
I feel
been
like that's
dropping
surgically
words, bro.
adjustable. Yeah, I feel like then you just
Yeah.
treat them as like lesions. You just kind of like it's kind of like circumcise your
Ooh,
eyeballs at that
or
point,
maybe
right? We
he
do
has like
that.
special eyes. Like I was talking to Brog about
Sharingan.
this, but like maybe he has like the like Sharingan or Oshinoko eyes.
Yeah, yeah. Or Oshinoko eyes, are those special?
They're yes and no.
I didn't watch the thing.
The Oshinoko, they have like star eyes, but
Yeah,
it just meant
yeah.
that you were born a liar, which is kind of silly.
Mm,
It's like it's super cheesy, but I love it.
interesting.
It's like if you have the
Interesting.
star eyes, you're like the number one liar out there. You can trick people.
Dang. Wait, do other people see that star eyes, or is it just for us?
I think it's just no. People can see it because they comment on it, but
Oh,
kind of
I
like
did
just for
that
us.
one.
It's like the
Oh
Demon
no.
Slayer eyes. Oh, here's a better one. Like Code Geass eyes. Like what if we take off the bandages and he has like Code Geass
No,
eyes?
I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah,
100. Yeah, yeah. I is
because there's a reason
Gias.
why he was born, and they're like he's cursed, dude. Something
Yeah.
about this guy's like bad. What are you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I'm pretty sure Gias like that is like a Scandinavian slash Nordic. Yeah, it's an Irish. The word Gias and Code Gias and the titular ability is derived from the Irish word Geas,
Geass, more
which
like
means curse.
gas.
It means curse or contract,
Oh, that's
which makes
cool.
sense because they were from the New Britannia, which was Europe, like as a consolidated, thing. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure their family also was like from, there. So, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that would be cool if it was something like that. I love Gias. I love that kind of stuff. It's just weird to fit it in the world of One Piece at this point. But like, it's not like we don't have crazy eyes. Like Oda introduced the Seraphim with the star eyes. We don't know what that's all about. We have the double layered eyes, which
we don't know about that
party
either.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know if it's like possession, some kind of crazy thing. At the end of the day, Emu's eyes are double layered eyes, and like I was joking about it, like, oh, what if Emu is Loki's mom, and that's why he has the eyes, blah blah blah. That's why he's the cursed child. Wouldn't make too much sense, but like, maybe this is where we start finding out about those eyes. Maybe this is how like we find out that Emu is related to the giants. This is like a dwarf giant, a dwarfism, and so they're ostracized and bullied and something like that. We don't really know.
yeah.
Could be that like I don't know, Emu is related to the progenitor of giants, and they had double layered eyes. Couldn't really know.
Yeah, I mean, or it's just like a special thing that people are born with, like just RNG even.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting because we also don't know if they still have the eyes because like it's bandaged up. So like, because like if the eyes are problematic, you gouge them out, if they're not problematic, then you would
I
like.
mean, Loki's problematic. I would have just killed him, to be honest.
So that's if. Do you want to just get to that part and like describe this stuff, and then we can talk about it?
Um, we got one last part. They said he was sentenced to
Okay.
be crucified.
Yes.
Yeah, they tried to it, but they tried to do it, but he fled. It looks like he survived all of that. Like he can't really kill him. He's kind of like Kaido, right? He was sentenced to death, but he just kept on surviving and surviving. Turns out that it took all the warriors of Elbaf to also subdue him, and then he also killed his dad and ate a legendary devil fruit. And he's chained up to a tree. He's smiling. He kind of looks like Django and Kaido combined together. Somebody said that. I thought they were on the money. He also has the same helmet as Loki from the MCU in a way. He has the two crazy horns going on. He even has a long Doflamingo-esque tongue, which I thought was kind of interesting. And he can see Luffy, right? Luffy's just here, and the guy says, "State your name." And Luffy says,
Or it
"I'm Luffy. I'm going to be
feels
king of the
Luffy.
pirates."
Yeah, it feels that Luffy is here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's kind of where we ended off, right? Loki says he's the sun god. He's going to end the world. And that this is Elbaf. We literally get like Loki drop after Loki drop after Loki drop. They just keep on building up this character to this very moment.
and it paid off in my opinion. This is crazy. Like he looks cool, like feels cool. He looks like he's a promising character. The setup, the backstory. I think like not that the worst part of his backstory is Hajrudin, but more so it's bad for Hajrudin that Loki's a part of his backstory in the way that he is, for a lot of reasons. But like, you know, we talked about Hajrudin's power level and things like that, and it's like, okay, like what does it mean for Loki to be like this strong compared to Hajrudin? Is like if Hajrudin wild out, does it take all of Elbaf to stop Hajrudin? I don't know.
No,
Like, do
I
they
don't
talk
think
about
so.
Hajrudin the way they talk about? No, yeah, like you said. And then it's like, okay, so then with the devil fruit part, is the part about Loki that's difficult to handle the 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 devil fruit part? Because then that would make a lot more sense, right? Going back to like when we got hired and introduced, he was all about like, oh, have you seen a giant with a Logia? And it's like maybe it's because he saw a giant with a Logia, so like, Loki has a Logia. Which, if that's the case, then these chains are either sea stone or something special that giants have, which is a separate interesting thing. And just to add in now context wise, it's like, okay, he's chained up. It seems like he's well chained up. Like if he was this much of a problem, I don't see them leaving him unattended where someone could just walk up to him and it's like that fine. You know what I mean? Like there
Yeah.
should be a guard. And if there's not a guard, then they're confident that he is locked up, which is why I'm on the boat that the trouble is not Loki. And it feels like Loki isn't up to anything at this moment. He's literally sitting on his butt. He's just like casually like, "What's your name?" Like state your name. And Luffy responds without his full name, which is interesting. But there's a lot of explanations for that. Luffy just kind of like does his own thing. As far as like why he's chained up and not dead, we talked about it on stream. I think after you left, which was that or no, it was a comment. It was a comment. And I 100%, as soon as they said that, it's like, oh, that makes sense. Is that one of the most Viking things is Valhalla. And so, in order to get to Valhalla, you die in battle. And so, one of the most dishonorable things you could do to a warrior is to kill them not in battle. So, if Loki did that to Odin, then that would mean that Odin can never make it to Valhalla, which is why he'd be crucified. And so if they killed Loki in battle, they would be sending Loki to Valhalla. So they can't kill Loki and they can't like poison him or do something like that because whoever does that would be as dishonorable as Loki for doing that to, Odin. So their only choice is to just lock him up, which I guess like in like medieval slash Viking era thing, you could look as that as like human rights, like humanity, like even crimes like that, you have to treat it with humanity, which is like you can't stoop that same level and you treat people's death with honor. It's a weird context of like you have to die in a battle for to make it to heaven Valhalla, so or the paradise would probably be the more accurate term here. And so that's why he has to be chained up and he has to die of like old age, is because they can't send him to Valhalla. They don't want to bless him with that honor, and they don't want to dishonor themselves, which I feel like I could think of 1,000 other ways they just put him underneath a glacier. Like, just
Yeah,
let
I
the glacier
mean,
take
if
him.
they don't want to kill him
Drown
because they want to send him to Valhalla, I'd just say at least like chop his arms and legs off.
Yeah, there's a whole honor thing that like is very finicky, where it's like that's a dishonorable thing to do. It dishonors my honor or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stoop so low as to you, like those kinds of things.
Hey, I'll
So it's
take the
like
fall,
there's
brother.
logic.
Loki seems like a
Yeah.
madman.
Me or you? Like
Yeah, I
me,
take the
it's like,
fall,
bro,
dude.
the mobsters had it right. Rocks Ocean does a pretty good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
just sink the guy. I mean, come on.
yeah,
I mean, if it
yeah.
like he's a world-ending threat, you know?
They killed the president. Is what happened.
Yeah, he killed the president, and he also wants to end the
ate
world.
him. We don't even know. Some people think he ate him. All I'm saying is that we would do worse to somebody who ate our president. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Like if somebody ate Joe Biden, well, I mean, Joe Biden's already served for dinner. The guy's like a roasted turkey. But I mean, like at this point,
I put
like
crazy images. All Elon Musk's AI images came back to my mind.
Oh my god. But yeah, like Loki seems like a madman, but I think there's always that 1 or 5% chance that he is good. Like there, I don't know. Like we weren't there. We don't know his reasoning. We don't know like what happened with the king. So I think there is like this small chance that he is a good guy, but if it's there, man, like I don't see it right away. I'll say that. Like from design to the stories, he seems bad through and through. But that could just be Oda like subverting us or like, you know, hitting us with one hand and then slapping us with another right after.
So you said Django, Kaido. I get like Kaido way more. I think like if you were to tell me Kaido and Django had a baby, it's like 80%, 85% Kaido, right? Obviously
the body of Kaido, but the head of Django.
Sure. And that is probably like 80-20 right there.
Yeah.
So, but like aesthetic wise, Kaido and Django's side, and like aura aesthetic, like, are there other characters that like immediately come to mind?
A little bit of Doflamingo.
Okay, because like I'm looking at like Oda has edgy characters, and like Law has a similar edgy vibe.
Ooh, Caribou.
Kaldara had a little bit of an edgy vibe too. You know what I mean? He had the tattoos similarly. He came in feeling like a villain, you know, but he was like kind of on the wrong side of history in a lot of ways. Like put on the wrong side of history, but also like history was just not like, hey, we don't like you. Like we're blasting your ass to space, brother. And Kagura's like, huh? Like, what are we doing up here, guys? And then they fight some random god, all that stuff, right? And got the tattoos. Oda, like, I feel like Law, Kaldara, like they like I don't know why I'm putting him in the same bucket as them. Like King, I'm feeling a little bit of King too. Like it's just like there's some kind of vibe going on with the kind of clothing. You know, people said like, oh, he's wearing like heavy metal stuff. I get that too. Like, you know, a little bit of Kid esque type of stuff, a little bit of King in there. Tattoos lock it in. The belt is kind of crazy. And a lot of those characters, it's like a misunderstood character, right? So it like it's weird because like, did all of Elbaf get it wrong? And also now we add his name in. Loki's famously always the character who is mischievous, causes the mischievous. Maybe in some contexts like was blamed wrongfully. In some contexts, maybe like, you know, not completely wrong in their whatever. Marvel liked to like sympathize with Loki and made him like is it deuteragonist or whatever?
Yeah.
Is that the right word? Yeah. Something like that, where like he ended up transforming. Now he's a main character on the good side, technically, and he whatever. Right? So that's not like 100% core, but it is weird the setup because it's like Loki usually is the villain. So is it a misunderstanding? And if it's a misunderstanding, did all of Elbaf get it wrong and they were tricked? And if they were tricked, who are they tricked by? Who could out trick the trickster? You know what I mean? He's Loki, the god of trickery. So like, is this like?
Well,
like, I
don't think somebody tricked him, considering the fact that he also said that he wants to end the world.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, But
Yeah.
also, it's like him saying he wants to end the world. Is that just him? Because the other part of Loki is being tactful with their words, right? Like being like kind of seductive, but like very sly, with
Yeah.
how they word things. Kind of like a genie with the word play and stuff like that. So that's also where it's weird too, because when you say like end the world, it's like I'm gonna end capitalism. That would be ending the world for like now, you know what I mean? People would consider that the end of the world. A lot of people would. And so anything opposing capitalism is the end of the world. We'd start wars over that, honestly. And so is it just a system change? Is it just like, oh, I don't want a king anymore, I want democracy? Is that the end of the world? Oh, no more wars. Is that the end of the world? You know what I mean? Like it could be the status quo that Loki doesn't like. Oh, like the giants don't sail the seven seas anymore, so now the giants will. Is that going to end the world? You know what I mean? Like the giants taking over the world, is that the new era? You know what I mean? That's also a context we have to play in. When he says end the world, at this point we kind of have no idea what that means.
Yeah, it seems like that's where everybody's kind of at too. Like, ending the world could just mean like burning the Yggdrasil tree, for example, or breaking the red line. Even like, there's a lot of ways Loki could quote break the world, and it be like not a good thing necessarily, but like not what we expect.
Neutral. Yeah. Like a macro scale version of like a neutral thing. Like the Earth doesn't care if we have. Oh, the Earth sort of cares, but like it doesn't care if we're democratic or have a dictatorship, one world, multi-world. The Earth will throw hurricanes, ice ages. You know what I mean? Like, so on the macro scale, it's neutral. It doesn't really like end the world, right?
Yeah, and then plus like I do wonder like how the Lola relationship went. Like, so from the sound of it, like if Loki married Lola, the Giants would have rallied behind Loki and just followed Big Mom. Like, Loki would have controlled the Giants to some extent. And even in that flashback, we saw Giants behind him, so he wasn't always hated. It looks like he only turned bad and, chained up once Lola turned him down, which I think is really interesting. Like, I think this could even be like just the actual crash out. Like, yeah, Lola turned him down, no reason to live, let's just destroy the world. Or maybe this is something Lola said to him and he just twisted the words of that, right? Like, maybe she hit him with one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't marry you if you were the last guy on Earth. And then Loki's like, oh, done.
We also have to understand why Big Mom can't just run them down.
Yeah.
Because, like, Big Mom's Yonko. Katakuri. Like, you can't tell me that, like, Katakuri stops at Giants. You know what I mean? Like, he could take Giants.
But Giants are getting a lot stronger, too.
And now we have this whole thing where it's like, it took all of Elbaf for this one dude. Is he the dude that Big Mom was like, oh shit, I can't take Odin? And like, if Odin, King Harold, sorry, I want to call him Odin because the whole Loki thing. But like, is King Harold and Loki that insane for Big Mom that Big Mom's like, all right, the only way in is to marry in? No, we can't fight him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where it's like the power stuff is so weird, because if this is the context, all of Elbaf on Loki, what does that even mean? And is it substantiated? And if it is, like, is this enough to stop him? Is this enough to stop? I guess Big Mom like got chained up by Queen and was like, yup, get these chains off of me. But also Big Mom had Sea Stone. So like, she has a devil fruit. I guess he has a devil fruit too. So there's that. But it is interesting because it's like we get context, but we also have like no idea where that context sits, because like there's so many wonky details connected to the Giants, where we don't know how strong he is. With Lola, was it a power move? Who did it benefit more? Did it benefit Loki more, or did it benefit Big Mom more?
Big Mom.
Yeah, so it's like that's what feels like to me too, which is interesting. And now we got the tongue thing. It might be that Loki just wanted it because the whole cake, like the food stuff.
I don't think he did. I think he really just liked Lola.
Which is another interesting angle. When you got an island of Girds.
Well, I mean, he's specific. I mean, like, he wasn't after her for her appearance. I mean, because there was the whole thing where Big Mom tried to like sell Chiffon off, but Loki only wanted Lola. Like, he could tell the difference between the two girls who were twins. So Loki was literally after just Lola and her personality.
Damn. So and that tells you that he's a good person, right?
Yeah, to that extent, he's a good person. Like he knows what he wants, and like it wasn't like a power play where he was like, oh, I want to destroy the world, or ally with Big Mom because I want power and allies and an army of a Yonko. No, he really just wanted Lola.
Yeah, he's like Sanji. He can tell the difference. Like Sanji would be able to tell the difference between twin girls, right?
Yeah.
And like and he was very committed and whatever. Like when it comes down to it, that'd be interesting. He's like, do you think he can skywalk?
Loki?
Yeah. What if that's why he's so powerful? Like the other giants can't jump.
We just bring back the jumping. I don't know. I mean, it's fine if he does. It's fine if he doesn't. I mean, skywalking is just like kicking your feet 10 times or something.
Yeah. Do you think that he has magic?
I think it'd be fine if he had magic, yeah.
Because Loki traditionally is the magical one, right?
Yeah. I was about to say, but then again, like, Dorry and Brogy didn't really know what the Gorosei were up to, so.
Well, they said, like, we don't know about the regeneration. They didn't say anything about the other stuff, so, like, regeneration could be, like, 10th grade magic, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Also, like, with Loki, too, what devil fruit do you think he has?
I think Logia, but I don't know
what.
Yeah, because Logia is an interesting one, because the one I would want to give it to is, like, if they think he's sun god, then Mera Mera, but obviously the Mera Mera wouldn't make sense contextually. And then another one that would make sense is like the birth of humanity would be clay stuff, but we already have the clay human, and that seemingly is a paramecia, not a Logia. So like Oda gave us that stipulation there. And then like their joke ones like resin, like he's some kind of tree sap. The people want to bring up the Gomu. I'm not on board with that. That didn't even cross my mind until people started saying it. But the reason why I didn't is because Vegapunk literally said like there's nothing about the Gomu. And then if he came to Egghead or Elbaf, surely he would be like, the Gomu exists. It's a legendary royal fruit that passes down from the generation to generation, which seemingly is like, they didn't tell them the specifics, but they did just tell the Strawhats this, right? So like I'm certain that like, we left those Strawhats, but when the Strawhats come, the Giants will have told them like, oh yeah, he has the XXX fruit, the XX. He has the XYZ fruit. That's what I meant to say. I said XXX.
XYZ fruit.
Yeah, just like, some kind of thing. And they would know that. I'm sure it's not a secret to people that they tell, like, hey, he has a devil fruit. Like, I'm sure they're going to be like, oh, he has the saliva Logia. He melts rocks. Honestly, wait, that would be kind of...
Yeah, but it would be cool, but it wouldn't be, like, legendary.
It wouldn't be legendary, but like that would explain the legend of the Giants being saliva that melts rocks.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty legendary. Wait, so then wouldn't it be the legend of Elbaf being that they're known for their saliva melting rocks, make it that the legend devil fruit is like some kind of Zoan that like is an animal that salivates? What if it's just the Western dragon?
A Western dragon?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that.
Could be. What's the number one enemy of like Norse mythology?
Chaos. I think most it's just like chaos creatures, which are serpents.
Yeah.
And the depiction of serpents are like the currents. You know what I mean? They were like, if you're a sailor, you got pulled into a current, like a what are they called? The riptide. That's deadly, even for boats. That's why. I mean, to a certain extent, but like that's why they were coastal boaters. They didn't go out to the ocean because they couldn't like really navigate that. So they'd stay so they could see land most of the time. Right?
Yeah. Like so it'd be like Jormungandr. So people have said blood-soaked serpent. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So like serpents would be it. That could be the legend that Dorry and Brogy are talking about. But the thing is, Dorry and Brogy shouldn't know about Loki until they came back.
That's what I thought of at first, but I thought about it a little bit more. But they weren't talking about Loki. They were just talking about the blood-soaked serpent in general. So maybe they know about the legendary devil fruit.
Yeah.
And not about Loki eating it yet.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of really good options for Loki, man. Like, I feel like his devil fruit won't disappoint. And I feel like no matter what it is, like, it doesn't have to be the case, but I am on the boat that whatever he has, it will be something sun god related. Like, it'll be some kind of transformation or power where you could look at it and you're like, oh yeah, I guess he is kind of like the sun god. Whether he's just like Luffy or whether he just has fire, I think that's going to be like the case there. And yeah, overall, man, if you had to rate Loki, his reveal, what would you give it? Like a solid like 7, 10, 9?
I think like, see, the problem with the reveals, right now, the reveal has to live up to it.
Yeah, but like so far, based on what we have,
I'm with like a 12, 13. I'm living this. This is great. And I think like what's even crazier, like we didn't even talk about this. Apparently, Marvel Loki, the main one that we follow, he's variant number 11 L1130. I think was what you said.
Yeah.
And this is chapter 1130-1130, and Oda introduced Loki. Like you look at him, cool. You feel the context of this chapter, awesome. He's smiling crazy. The way he talks to Luffy, state your name. Like, that's sick. Tattoos, epic. Clothing, epic. He has some kind of weapon on his back, epic. He's tied to Yggdrasil by chains, crazy. All of Elbaf to take him. He's royalty. I think the only demerit is, like, being hired in his brother. But, like, other than that, then you sit back and, like, even the chapter title? The chapter number fits him? Bro, who else gets that much? Kaido didn't have... Did Kaido get a chapter number reveal akin to his name or character? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, Loki is set up. He is the trust fund baby of plot right now. He is getting the Norse mythos. He's getting the Marvel mythos. He's getting the Oda mythos. He's getting the Nika mythos. He's got Sun God on his back. He killed his dad. Like, there's so many crazy things about this dude. All of the giants that we have come to this point, besides like Saul, all centralized around him. Hajrudin, probably one of the main reasons he was on Dressrosa was to be able to overcome his brother. One of the reasons why, like, the Dorry and Brogy, like, they were like, bro, like, we can't all come to help you because there's trouble. That might be Loki. Loki's such a problem that they can't kill him because honor or whatever. But, like, at the end of the day, Loki is the pinnacle giant right now. And he makes all the other giants look terrible. Like, I'm almost thinking, like, I want to see Egghead redone. Just Loki. Loki shows up. What happens? I think, like, the way he looks, right? That's not an axe. That's not a hammer. That's a guitar. He pulls out a guitar and he just goes, Durr! And then Gorosei starts shaking, and he's just like, time to shake this shit up. He starts bouncing, he starts rocking the beat, he starts whipping his hair, and then he like semi-Kika, I don't even know, and then he turns into a Logia, and all the Gorosei are dead immediately. There's not even he might be the sound Logia.
Sound Logia, yeah, it's not bad.
That's a cool one.
Sound Logia, yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of sound powers, like I just think back to like Naruto.
Yeah,
like the tuning exams.
Always underrated, but like sound can be really cool.
If he had the sound Logia, I would have chained up his mouth too, even if he has like sea stone.
True. Yeah, you're right. It's probably not the sound Logia.
Yeah, but either way, yeah, Loki's not bad. I'd give it like a solid 8.5 or 9. I
guess Aokiji and Kuzan could spit out magma and ice, right? Oh, I said the same person.
Yeah.
The Akainu.
Yeah.
Kuzan. Yeah, they could be that, and then this magma comes out. So sound. Yeah.
We see Magellan do it too.
You said 7.8.
Or I said 8.5 or 9.
Oh, I had it backwards.
Yeah.
8.59. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think 8.59 is pretty reasonable. I love the reveal. I thought it was great. I love the build up for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we also get revealed to the giant Yggdrasil tree. We see what it looks like in its full glory. We see a giant sword sticking out. We see waterfalls. You also see a rainbow in the background too. It's insane. You see a castle. Like, my God, there's a lot going on here. And the place where the Straw Hats were just at, it is tiny in comparison. That castle,
Very.
dude, it's like a dot.
It's also like one of one. I was thinking that there'd be more bridges, but it seems like they were in a prison, so this is probably like the one of one prison. But it's also
Yeah,
like the in the scope
it's like
of the
Alcatraz.
island. Yeah, in the scope of the island though, it's like kind of minuscule. Their prison. I guess they don't have that many prisoners.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like they could probably fit like 10 people in there or something, but
Yeah.
yeah. Like it's a huge place. What stuck out to you the most when you saw the Elbaf design?
It's funny you say what sticks out the most.
Was it the
Do you mean
sword?
any? It
Was it
actually
the sword?
didn't.
Yeah. It
It
didn't?
actually didn't. No. What it was because like I didn't realize the sword went all the way through until later. Not like later. Like I saw it and I was like, oh wow, it sticks through. Two things. It was because this is about the Hellbath video that I made. And a lot of people are like, wow, it's very similar, but it's not like specifically what we're talking about. Like the world tree. World tree is world tree. It was gonna look some form of this or whatever, but in that video, I was emphasizing that there's going to be a huge emphasis on fresh water and waterfalls, and that's what stuck out to me the most was that we finally know what that like those lines were in that in with Big Mom's flashback where we see she's like on the island and in the background there's just like these lines and nobody ever could figure out what that is. People were like, oh, 4 lines, that's Zunisha or something like that. Now we know we see the same shadowing. Those are waterfalls in the background falling off of the canopy of the trees into the ocean. And that is so awesome. And then pouring out of that is like everything else that's so important to this story, which is like how Oda took the Norse mythology of Yggdrasil and made it his own, which is like the double layered canopy where I think traditionally that middle layer is clouds. So Midgard would be at the bottom, then like Hell would be below that, and then clouds would be above it, and then you'd have Asgard. Here, Oda changed that, not clouds. It is a tree canopy with another tree on top, which that main tree is the same thing in the world tree setting. And then you have like you could see the rainbow in the background, very nice. But I'm interested in the roots. That was another huge part of the Hellbat video. If the Oda like really wants to dig deep into the lore of it, then the roots of the tree are really important. There's so much lore and a lot of the poems are about the roots. One of them we see protruding out of the tree, it seems like right next on the left side at the bottom, there's like this branch that like sticks out and goes down. That would be like a root. And I forgot what the names of them are, but like the roots are in there are 3 main roots that sit in 3 main wells, and those wells, one of the ones that sits in either Asgard or in the Giants part of Midgard, or I forget what the real um, the frozen giants section of Jotunheim. Jotunheim. Uh, you would have the Norns, I think they're called, which are 3 like witch-like characters, 3 old ladies that would weave the history. They would see the future, past and present, past, present, future. They would weave them together, and that was their like future. That was like the storytelling portion of it. And the thing is, back on Skypiea, that was the wordage that Robin read. Like, we are the ones who weave history. And it's interesting because we know, like, the Kozuki clan, they made the poneglyphs, but, like, we are the ones who weave history. That, like, never came to full fruition with the Kozuki and Wano context. And the one that fits perfectly with that wording are the Norns from Elbaf. And we see the wells. We might even see the top one, too, on the right side next to the rainbow. There's like another branch thing that like loops up and down towards this sword. Yeah, those are the main things. Is like how Oda spun the tree in his own way, in a great way, and in a way that also reflects like something like the silhouette of the tree might be the most accurately revealed silhouette in all of One Piece, because this is exactly what we get, and to the point where we were able, like as a community, we looked at that small thin tree in Luffy's in Legoland, and we're like, that's not it. That's not even close. You can't just show you. We literally were like, you just can't show me any old tree and make me believe that this is the Yggdrasil tree. Stop it, Oda. And then he's like, yeah, this is just like a toothpick and like a diorama that this weirdo made, and it's just like a tiny thing and a big tiny thing and a castle that's also really tiny on Elbaf. And this is the gravity. This is the gravity we've been looking for. So I'm here for it. And then obviously, once the sword came to play, we talked about that a lot. Not like set in stone with anything yet, but I do like the idea that the sword is just like a monument type of thing rather than an actual sword. Um, like rather than a functional sword, it is a like decorative sword, maybe, you know?
Yeah, and that's because it's just so damn big.
Yeah, so
Like
damn big.
it's
And
hard to
also just
imagine
like,
that somebody wielded it.
yeah, and if someone wielded it, then like, and it being a real sword would mean that it was forged by who? Who's big enough to do this? Do any of
It could
that?
just be a small person, and they just like had an entire country come together to make it.
But even then, like the way you make a sword, like a good sword, you have to like temper the entire thing. You know what I mean? Like you can't just do willy nilly, itty bitty here and there. Oops, sorry. But
Like I said,
that
that's why I said the entire country.
yeah, I guess a island of giants, but like I don't know, it is interesting because I feel like Monument could make sense. Like we have like Whiskey Peak, where it's like it wasn't a cactus, it was just like a giant like circle with like tombstones on it. And given that this Valhalla is like probably a main thing, it could be a monument of swords, a monument of weapons, given how important weapons are. Dorry and Brogy literally will continue their duel once they get their weapons back and like remade. So like weapons are super important, and we've seen that on Wano too. We just talked about like that for an hour on the cover story, where it's like the weapons were honestly probably better preserved than the bodies in Wano. So like that being said, they probably do the same thing, but it's probably also similar. Like in Wano, the tradition was when a samurai dies in battle, you pick up their sword and fight with it. Right? That's what Kinemon said. Um, and so Oh, that's interesting. Now I think about the once a samurai dies, you pick up their sword and continue their thing. That might be related to the cover story. Someone's wanting to pick up the mantle of Yasui. I don't know what that is, but that's probably the motive.
Maybe.
But coming to this, I think it's similar. Like you don't want to use someone else's weapons. Like I don't think you. That's normal. I feel like.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, this sword is cool though. I love the design of
Yeah.
it so far. I mean, it looks pretty basic, but that's what I like about it, you know? Nothing super flashy. Just
Yeah.
minus its size, of course.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be one of the first things the Straw Hats ask about. No, I guess they wouldn't. Like, when you get to Elbaf, like, that sword is so big, you might not register that it's actually a sword until somebody says it.
They say anything about the Onigashima sword?
No. But this sword's a little bit different. I mean, this sword just actually sticks out. I mean, they're actually here to hang out and chill as well. Like, the context is different.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to, like, all of this and Elbaf, I'm expecting a lot out of it now, man. Like, I'm super hyped up. As someone who doesn't like the Giants, I'm starting to open up a little bit to them. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say that might be Heimdall. Like that might be where he lives. Like I don't know if you know in like Marvel,
Yeah.
they had him like on the end of Bifrost, but he was like the Watcher, the Observer, and so like technically where that is, it's in a precarious spot where you'd see everything kind of, and so it could be that that's like a fortitude of some sort, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like a very protected thing. Like maybe it's kind of like the whale tree in a sense, where the whale tree you have to wind up and then go inside and go downstairs. Kind of like on Wano, you have to go inside the castle, go all the way down 900, whatever, 9,000 meters, whatever it was. It might be that that's a giant like corridor and you have to climb it.
Yeah, like a stairway.
Yeah, like a path. Like if you're able to do something like that, which
So you get
kind of
from
in the
top to
One Piece
bottom.
world. Yeah. Something like that.
I mean, we have this bridge that is leading the Straw Hats up to the Yggdrasil like canopy, but I feel like that's not the only way to get up. Like, surely the tree might be hollowed out, which I don't know if that's like sacrilegious, right? Like, oh, we're cutting inside the Yggdrasil tree. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing.
I don't know, Sai. You tell me. You seem pretty gung ho about taking down big old trees last call, and the call before that.
I mean, I'm down, dude. Like, hey,
I don't know if it's sacrilegious.
I'm looking at this tree right now.
You're about sacrilegious all over the tree.
I can't wait till somebody tears this tree down.
Yeah. Oh no, but your reason is different.
Yeah, a little bit.
Why? What is your reason? Do you want to clarify to people?
Yeah, so me and Par went on the Parcast, or not Parcast, the 50/50 podcast, I believe. And we were talking about like how there's this one big tree in America that's been around for like to finish the story though, like there's like this big tree in America, and like people were saying, hey, don't chop down this tree, it's too old, guys. It's a great tree, it's a lot of significance. And I'm just like, just chop it down, dude. Take the people down with it. Why not?
The thing I was referencing was oh no, I forgot what I was referencing.
You forgot.
Yeah.
See, that's what happens.
I'll come back to me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Oh no, like you want this tree chopped down because Adamwood. You're tired of all the people saying this.
The Adamwood slander.
And the moment this tree goes down, you're gonna look them in the eyes.
No,
you're gonna pull them out of the comment section. Say, what'd you say to my face?
When it comes to Adamwood, right? I've started to just like disregard all the people like defending Adamwood nowadays. Like, it's just it's like you, like Par. If you're walking down a street and a drug addict's like, hey buddy, like, have you seen the stars? They're all shaped like us. Like, you just ignore it, right?
Oh
like, God. It's like, yeah.
Wait, that felt so real. Did this happen to you? Were you?
I just cooked that up. But yeah,
that
like,
was good.
If some crazy person like just starts talking to you about like an absolutely insane take, you just kind of like just goes over the head, right?
Yeah.
When somebody says the Adamwood is indestructible, I'm like, okay, like the Adamwood we've seen thus far, it's not. The Sunny's been damaged. The Adamwood ships have been damaged. Like, dude, Adamwood, it's cool. Like, I'm sure it's more durable than all the wood out there, but it's not stopping Fujitora. It's not stopping Mihawk. What are you guys talking about? Like, people are saying Kaku wouldn't be able to destroy the ship. I'm like, I don't know about that, dude. Like, Big Mom just casually broke it when she wasn't even trying. Like, she just stepped on there and just, whoop. Oh, there goes the Sunny.
Do you think Loki can break out?
Can Loki break out? That's a hard one. I feel like he should be able to. Because it kind of reminds me of Garp, right? Because Garp is chained up. Yeah. Like, should Garp be able to break out? I was like, I feel like he should, but he's not. I mean, we can't underestimate chains in One Piece, to be honest.
Yeah, ball and chain go hard. I was saying that because, like, Loki being tied to the tree is like, what are they saying about the tree? Like, because that in itself is kind of a feat. Not like a feat in the sense of, like, nuance for what the tree's fortitude is, right? If the tree wasn't durable enough, he could just, like...
Yeah, and it's also like, what tree is he tied to? Like, is this Yggdrasil, or is this just, like, a random tree in the woods?
Oh, you don't think it's Yggdrasil?
It could be Yggdrasil. Like, that was my first thought, but it was also like, if this is Yggdrasil, that means that Luffy made it all the way over there already, and like, there's nothing at the base of the tree. It's just Loki.
Those are some long ass chains too, right?
Yeah, it's like you have to go all the way around the island to chain him up, and it's like, I don't know. Like, it would make sense if it's Yggdrasil, like, oh, you know, you're not going to lose Loki because he's right here. But also, like, would they really take a chain all the way around an island multiple times to chain him up? I guess it would if he's, like, the world's worst criminal here on Elbaf, but...
And then would you also tie the world's worst criminal to... Would you crucify them on your, like, national treasure?
Yeah, but then again, like, if this is a regular tree, like, maybe he could just get out. That's why it's hard, like... Yeah. I don't know for sure. I don't really have a dog in that fight.
The context is obviously important, This is hard to say, and that's why I was like asking. I was like, it's weird both ways. Like, why a random tree, and then but why Yggdrasil? Like, there are no other options.
What if he's not tied to a tree?
How come Mr. 3 had better subduction? Like, subduction sounds crazy, but I'm pretty sure that's the word here. Like, he had better ability to subdue giants. Like, he stuck their hands together, nailed through them. The giants had to pull through, like, off, like painfully. None of that for Loki.
Maybe they need Mr. 3 to do it. Ooh, maybe when we pan out, if we pan out, maybe Loki isn't tied to a tree, and he's actually tied to a giant birthday cake, like Mr. 3, and this is slowly killing him.
It's gonna encapsulate him. Oh,
yep, just like Mr. 3
16th birthday.
Well, I mean, yeah, like his 64th birthday.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 61. I was like 16 backwards.
Oh.
Here we go. Okay, here's a fun one. Sorry, this is a distraction question, kind of.
Go for it.
If Loki had a bounty, what would it be? Now
based on vibe alone.
Well, yeah, and we got the giant ones right now.
3.7.
3.7.
That's just based on vibes. I mean, like, Dorry and Brogy combined together, right? They hit 3.6. If it took all the Giants of Elbaf to take them down, 3.7 is fine. Like, a little bit above Dorry and Brogy.
Realistically, it took all the Giants minus Dorry and Brogy.
Yes, depending on the timeline. That's why I really wish we had, like, a solid timeline of events.
Yeah. Not that I'm saying, like, Dorry and Brogy are that cracked, but, like, you know, we also have to take Shanks into consideration. Why is he the brother? Did he help them? You know?
So, yeah, so real quick, like, the timeline is this. They say the trouble started back while our captains were missing because he was born. He devoted himself to darkness, and then a few years ago, he was sentenced to crucifixion. But then he later tried to flee, and then the warriors of Elbaf came together to catch him. So, like, the timeline's kind of iffy there. Like, we don't know, like, when he got captured versus when he got crucified versus when he fled, and then they caught him again. Like, it's... Dorry and Brogy could have been present during all of this, or they could have been missing. Like, it's 50-50. It's like us arguing, like, is it a tree or Yggdrasil, right? What is he strapped to?
Yeah, and then the reason why I'm saying, like, Dorry and Brogy probably aren't here is because Dorry and Brogy returned, like, yesterday, right? Like a month ago.
Did they return yesterday?
I think so, right? Like, wasn't the giant saying...
After Water 7, that was pre-time skip.
Pre-time skip?
Yeah, pre-time skip, Ormo and Kashi left to go get Dorry and Brogy. Or they went to Elbaf. So it could have... Dorry and Brogy could have came back during the time skip. Like again, like, we don't know the exact dates.
Long time.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot done, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, you could consider, like, the time skip a few years ago, too.
Yeah. It is, and that is also important. We don't have the context of Loki and his trials and tribulations, as far as being like I said, like, oh, what if Dorry and Brogy weren't here? How would that change the story? It shouldn't. Like I don't want it. Not that I don't want it, but, like, it shouldn't be that Dorry and Brogy outscale all of Elbaf like that much. Where them saying, like, it took all of Elbaf's warriors to put him down, minus Dorry and Brogy, drastically changes the meaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's why it's weird, because, like, it feels like you should, because it's like, that would be like saying, like, what is the red-haired pirates without Shanks? Right? Like,
and also, another thing about Loki, like, since we don't know when he was subdued, it kind of makes you wonder if Shanks was present during all of this too. Like, was Shanks here, like, you know, also helping out on the Loki front? Or was he only showing up on the coast and drinking and hanging out while Loki was running rampant? And then we still have the mystery about the man on the coast, right? Is that Scopper? Is it Shiki? Is it some new character? Who the hell are they? Because it's not Loki.
Is it Loki's hockey astral projecting?
Yeah, the hockey Loki astral projection is out there drinking off the coast.
That's why he's smiling right now. His eyes are over. Actually, that is a power that they gave Heimdall in Marvel. I don't know if that's an actual. I remember double checking this, but like Heimdall is able to see through other people's eyes, but then he was also able to like manifest himself sometimes. So there's
Yeah, I
like
think Loki's able to do that too in some iterations.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there is that, but like it's weird. It is really, really weird with like where Loki sits power level, capability.
Is he
Who can
good? Is he
stop him?
bad? Will Luffy let him go?
I feel like they're gonna laugh. I feel like he's really funny.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna get along. Like Luffy, he's a little bit daft. I've been saying that a lot like lately. Just Luffy's a little bit dumb, but he is a good judge of character for the most part. Like, yeah, he's not smart. Like, if Loki tricks him, yeah, Luffy probably just let him go. But then again, like, Luffy can also tell if you're good or bad. And Luffy's smiling. Like, Luffy looks like he's having fun talking to this guy. Of course, we don't see Luffy's response about the whole, "Ooh, I'm gonna end the world." But, I'm assuming Luffy's still gonna be smiling a little bit, at least.
He might even say, "Me too."
Hey, yeah, you're the sun god. You're gonna end the world, yeah. Dude, that's ditto, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, like, do you think Luffy will let him go? Like, free this guy?
Oh yeah. What's the point of keeping him there? What's the fun in that?
And then plus, like, we separated Luffy specifically. It's just Luffy. If Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Usopp are here, bro, they'd be like, "Yo, like, let's not do this." But since it's just Luffy, bro,
Zoro might have flashbacks. This is him, chapter 5.
Yeah, but I mean, different context though, right? Zoro's over here trying to like help some little girl. Loki's over here committing regicide.
What if he was trying to help a little girl and the little girl is the one who killed her dad and he took the blame? We don't know. There's lots of context.
It was Lola that killed his dad.
Yeah, it could be that he fell in love with Lola because Lola did what he always wanted to do.
Do you think Lola's gonna come back here? Do you think we're gonna see Lola, Capone, Gotti, and all them?
I feel like the Big Mom Pirates have to come, but like, I don't know if it feels meaningful, Like, because I know everybody and their mother thinks that Big Mom returns on Elbaf, and I'm with them. It's just the setup is so obnoxious because this is like Wano all over again, where Big Mom, obviously we knew she was headed to Wano, but the way it happened was just like mid intro for the Straw Hats on Wano, boom, Big Mom's there. Oh man, this got really scary. And then what did Big Mom actually end up doing? Like she was cool at the start. I feel like she was cooler in Udon than like the build up to Wano or Onigashima, and then in Onigashima she was cool again to some people, and then she gets wiped. We know her story is on Elbaf, so she just shows up here without Kaido, even though they're like
and then plus
place.
Like the Big Mom Pirates have bigger fish to fry with Blackbeard and Pudding too.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know like how Big Mom fits into this, and then spinning off of Big Mom, like Lola, she's not even part of Big Mom's crew anymore, right? That's just the Beige Pirates. So why would Beige show up, right? And then there's also Arouge. People believe that Arouge is going to come in as well. And it's like, okay, like we're about to watch like some masterclass weaving from Oda if he brings in all of these different characters and makes it make sense. And then I also wonder if like Loki will like us because we know Lola.
Like what if Lola's the reason why he doesn't end the world? It's all about love.
Yeah.
Love is a hurricane.
That's where I'm at. Like I think if Lola shows up and says, "Hey, don't do it," I think he'll literally just stop. I mean, when it comes to characters like this, they usually have like one quirk about their character.
Yeah.
Like Big Mom, Hunger Pangs, Kaido, Drunk Kaido, like doesn't really know what to do after, Rox and Roger are gone and all that. Like I think Loki might be the same way. Like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but that one soft spot, it's for Lola. But like I said, I don't know why Lola would come here with Capone. Like, it's not like Elbaf has something they need, right? Do they have a ship right now?
Who?
Capone.
Yeah.
They got a brand new ship during the cover page story, right?
Yep, they're sailing away. Nothing looks like it. They don't look like they got hit.
Yeah, I just remember like they sailed away on a different ship.
sails on. They said the blissful ship sails on through the celebration cannons.
Yeah, I just remember like during Whole Cake they lost one of their ships. But yeah, it looks like they got another one back during the cover page stories. Yeah. So yeah, I was about to say like maybe if they needed Adamwood they would come here, but that wouldn't make sense now.
Yeah, does Lola have No, they don't have Nami's Vivi card.
No, we have Lola's Vivi card. Or Big Mom's Vivi card, not Lola's.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, the only reason they would come here is if she wants to see Loki again, but that wouldn't make sense considering the fact that she's married now.
Yeah.
Unless they're friends. Unless they're friends and they want to hang out.
Gotti versus Loki. Loki's like, this is the man you chose? And then
dude, like imagine Gotti beats him.
Oh god.
Yeah. Big gun Gotti.
He's got that dog in him. That dog in him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot, like, now we're talking about the Vivi cards, right? Like, Lola, like, I was thinking, like, okay, Big Mom does show up, and then they follow the Vivi card to Elbaf. But, like, why would Lola want to follow to Big Mom anyways? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And then for Big Mom, it's like, why not just go after Pudding, too? Yeah,
and then Pudding, like, she allegedly maybe has the Vivi card. That's how she knows that Big Mom's still alive. But then it would require her to escape Blackbeard to make it to here, but like that also wouldn't make sense unless like Blackbeard found out. But why would he want to run the gauntlet with Big Mom? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
Unless he wants a soul fruit, which that could make sense. Like the soul fruit is kind of cracked.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of crazy like what ifs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like disjointed parts for now, but I feel like come next chapter we're gonna learn a whole bunch. But yeah.
Nah, I mean this is a chapter you kind of just gotta. This is a theory smorgasbord. We finally got the appetizers. These are the appetizers of Elbaf, and this is quite the 16 meal course. Well, like this is 16 course appetizer right now. This is a whole cocktail hour, bro.
Yeah, we're 4 chapters in, and we got a lot.
We got a lot. Does he have eyes? Does he not have eyes? What did that tongue do? Why did Lola leave him? He's pretty good looking. Hajrudin, or do you guys have the same mom? Like, is there a Mjolnir on your back? Like,
can they jump?
Can they jump? Is so, bro.
Yeah, questions that will really keep you up at night. You're gonna be haunted by all these theories, these questions, possibilities.
Do you think the Giants could survive the fall from the canopy to the bottom?
Yeah.
They should be able to, right?
Yeah, I mean they're just durable. It's the world of One. If it's like real life, nah. But it's the world of One Piece.
All like the Giants all came down at the same time. It'd be like that theory we had, not we, but like the world had about flushing the toilet all at the same time, and then like the whole world would like explode or whatever.
Yeah, like what would happen if all the Giants jump at the same time?